Hey there, everybody, and welcome to our Tuesday night lights at Assiniboia Downs. I'm Jessica Tugwell. I am here with Colin Sheehan and Sean Patrick Nolan. How are you
Hey
guys doing
guys,
tonight?
we're doing great. Ready for some Assiniboia action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Assiniboia.
I'm excited to be back here after a couple weeks off.
Yes,
And
happy
yeah,
to
looks
have
like we
you
have a
back. Yeah, the slight delay. They must have gotten the rains that we got in Boston here. They must have moved up all the way up to them.
oh yeah, guess so. Yeah, I was wondering why they were still in the paddock, and now they just put up the slight delay. No, so that gives us some time to talk about the card. I don't know that there's a whole lot to say about this race. I mean, if Big Energy, as right at the wire said in the comments here before we got started, if he doesn't win this, is he ever going to win?
Yeah,
I mean, this
seriously,
is a horse
absolutely.
who looks tough,
Hey
but
Alex,
also
hey
tough to
Tim,
trust.
Sully. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if there's a spot where if he doesn't win this one, they might as well just send him to like Century Mile or like Dakota Downs or something like that because he's not going to win.
Yeah, exactly. Carlos brings up the 3, who was actually the horse that I saw as the best alternative in here
Sure.
to the 1, adding Lasix for the first time, getting a little bit of a drop here. And of course, it is going from state bred into open, but at
Sure.
this level, at this point, with the kind of skill these horses have shown or lack thereof, it's kind of a little bit of a maybe Lasix helps. Maybe that's why the horse hasn't done a whole lot. And I mean,
Sure.
no barbed wire on the outside, kind of the 2 horses who have done the least wrong,
Yeah.
which kind of
Yes.
is an angle that I tend to lean on in races like this. Colin, you did capping the card for this. Where did you end up in here?
Well, first of all, it's great to see everybody. I've been very busy lately with life.
Yes.
Regular life gets in the way sometimes, and it's been hard to do some shows. So happy to be back, at least for a little bit tonight. I'm glad also it's only a slight delay. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that font, just a slight delay. So that's great.
Uh,
Capping the car, man. I mean, how can you take a 2-5 on this horse, Big Energy, that just does not like to pass horses? I mean, 11 times, 5 seconds, 5/3. It's not like a horse that you've seen losing like 6th, 7th, and 8th, and all of a sudden puts up a couple second and third places. I mean, this horse just, like we talk about, Jessica, it's a horse that just likes to hang out with his friends. And he's like, oh, all right, cool. I'm here to run, and you go, and I'll hang off your flank, and we'll have fun around the track together. So to take 2-5 on a horse like this, to me, is insane. So I would not be betting this one. I actually went with my top pick was 6, no barbed wire, for the exact reason that you just talked about, which is you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know if the progression that this horse showed in race, his first race, her first race into her second race, another progression like that. I mean, how can you not look at number 6, no barbed wire, at 9-2 right now? That's pretty nice. The 5, it's hard. If I understand what we talked about with Big Energy, but number 5 is even worse. I mean, look at all the times you see Big Energy in the comments as far as Jackie's Thunder being behind the 1. So hard to like that horse. My value pick was 2, Freedom Convoy, hoping maybe that the horse has shown a little bit of this early speed, gets the bug jockey, so gets a little bit of that weight break here, and a little bit of the same angle that I used with the 6, which is what you don't know, you don't know. And this horse has only raced 3 times. Obviously, losing by 17 lengths and 22 lengths is nothing to be too happy about, but I'm hoping maybe with getting Fraser Abley aboard, a little drop in the weight there is something that maybe you can get some value with the 2. I just can't get behind Big Energy at 1-2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fair. What were you thinking in here, Sean?
for stable duel, I used both the 1 and the 2. I was kind of with Colin there. The Abley's getting onto the 2 horse there, dropping down. I thought the last time he opened up, he gave way, but the first time he ran, he got out and at least stayed for a lot longer. Maybe with the bug on, he can, versus this group, he can maybe get it to go a little bit further. The interesting thing here, and as I put it in my notes, okay, a 33 buyer is dominating this group right now. I mean, on the one, you know what I'm saying? So at least he's able to put up like consistent 33s, which is in any other track, you'd be like, what are you doing? But he's actually like lays over this field in terms of that's not a, as Colin said, 2 to 5 is not worth the price to take. But he just seems that he's finally found a group of friends in the sandbox that he can build the right castle with. You know, this is the
that's definitely how it seems.
You know, Zach, if there is any group, you know, Zach, that he can get it done with, this is it. You know, so. But I do think the 2 maybe Abley can get out a little bit and get some value here. But so I went in Stable Duel. I went 1-2.
Yeah, I just passed this race in Stable Duel actually because I just didn't trust anybody in here as far as, you know, big energy isn't worth the price you had to pay for. And then everyone else in here, I was just kind of, they could all lose by double-digit lengths, which, I mean, with the new Stable Duel rules doesn't hurt you. Right. At least it doesn't give you negative points, but it also isn't going to help you at all. So we've got some railers in the chat. We got Keith in here.
Hey, Keith.
Got big energy here. Says that tonight's the night. We got El Hombre. Good to see ya. And Uncle Sully. Way too many friends playing and not passing each other in this sandbox. Yeah, no, that's exactly what seems to be going on about this. Yeah, exactly. They're the front.
The one good thing you could say about big energy is the horses that this horse has lost to aren't, you know, Diane's Wish was a horse that, remember, early in the meet came back and had a big win. Anna Kazana has come back and had a victory. All Terrain Jane, I think that loss on June 26th was maybe when I made All Terrain Jane the sleepy pick. I think that was that race there. So you know there's some talent in that horse. So at least that's one thing you have going for you with big energy in here.
Yeah, and I mean, she's only been favored in 4 of her 11 starts. I mean, she was actually favored on debut last year when Spittin' Kitten, who's turned out to be a really nice horse at Assiniboia Downs, broke her maiden. So there's reasons to think that maybe this is a better spot. This is the first time she's going to be an odds-on favorite. So maybe this is just the first time that she'll just finally find horses that she's just too fast for. As Sean was saying, fast being a very relative term.
You're right, right. But 33 looks like, I mean, doesn't it look like a 95 in like other like Saratoga? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand versus the rest of the group. You know, it looks like it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see.
I can't believe I get the pleasure of seeing Miami Souvenirs run again too in race 2.
I have him in my stable. Tonight is the night.
Sean, have you not learned anything? How many shows have we done together here?
He got me 3rd last time. He got me paid last time. Is that?
I'll go horse to horse. I think the 3 beats the 4 in there. In that next race, I think Fingertip is going to run better than a.
There you go. Trust the process side bets. I love it.
I loved Fingertip in that race.
Yeah, no, Fingertip makes a lot of sense in there. I thought that's going to be my first Stable Duel horse. I think I might have used a lot to like. I might have gone 3 deep in there, actually. I might have gone 3, 5, 6 for Stable Duel in that race.
Also, I'm a little biased. The 2 is a Wicked Strong baby, so I mean, have to root for him.
Fair.
We don't see many Wicked Strong babies up here, you know.
Yeah, no, not a whole bunch of them in general, really, that you see too often.
A lot of them are in Pennsylvania now. He's in Pennsylvania now, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of 2-year-old filly babies coming up with Wicked Strong pretty soon, which is pretty cool.
Nice, yeah. So who does everybody like on top in here? I personally think that the 1 is the most likely winner, but there we go. Awesome. And internet went weird there for a second. I think the 1's the most likely winner in here, but I think the 3 would be my top pick as far as just odds and value right now. Who do you guys?
I'd say I would if I was betting this race, which I am not, I would go 2-6 exacta box, and hopefully you can get big energy just to run the way that big energy usually does. If you wanted to cover your bet and maybe go 6 over Big Energy. So a 6-1, that's paying out $9 right now to back myself up, liking that 6 on top. So that's where I would go. If I'm wrong and get beat by Big Energy, then I'm okay with that. But I'm also, this is a type of shot where you might want to play against a horse that just doesn't like to get into the winner's circle. So 2-6 exacta box for me.
Yep.
And how about you, Sean?
I would play like 1, 2, 6. And just see if like the 2 can maybe get in the middle of the 2 of them. And say the bug boy can maybe. And then if the 1 does fade, I mean, this isn't.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good watching race, I think.
Yeah. The 2 could be the kind of horse who just like wins by default.
The thing I don't like about the 6. The thing I don't like about the 6 is that he's a no-nos baby, and we all know how those guys have to take somehow 4 or 5 races before they get into the winning category.
Yeah, definitely.
We're getting
to that range where,
as Colin said, versus this group, hey, anything can happen.
You don't have to be that fast to win this race.
No, exactly, and he can. That's why, and he's getting played now better than 72.
Exactly. Yeah, very clear second choice there on the outside with no barbed wire.
Yeah,
So,
Keith just brought up a great point that I noticed it too. The extra week of rest in the cycle for BBB could be exactly what he needed. In terms of it's a long when you run every week.
I mean, he had rest July 24th to August 9th. What happened there, Keith? What was the excuse there?
Only got beat half a length.
Tim played him. No.
He stinks. Don't put your money on him, Keith. It's my bottom tier of Assiniboia Downs horses is Miami Souvenirs last and Big Energy second to last. And I'm glad we get to kick off this early double with my 2 favorite horses.
Love it. Let's go ahead and toss it up here with some sound.
Convoy.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
The field is set for as most.
Oh.
Freedom Convoy a little fractious, as is Jackie's Thunder. They're settled. And they're off. From the inside, Big Energy shows some early speed, as does Freedom Convoy. Well, now
he's going to have to pass somebody.
The early lead by a length.
You're in trouble.
Big Energy back to second. On the outside in third, no barbed wire. Coming up the fence, pay it forward another length back. That's going to be Helen's Spirit. And the early trailer will be Jackie's Thunder. 23 seconds, the opening quarter. 3 across the track on the far outside. No barbed wire, pokes a nose in front. A big Energy in between horses. Freedom Convoy trying to fight back on the rail. Helen's Spirit making a late run. They hit the head of the lane.
Come on,
no
6.
barbed wire with
Straighten
the
him out.
lead.
Oh, Lord.
Not giving up.
That's a horse that doesn't want to win.
Energy. These 2 coming up to the 16th.
What are you doing?
A late rally
God.
by Helen's Spirit. Big Energy is going to take it by a half a length. Second is going to go to
it wasn't pretty.
Wire, and third.
Neither horse wanted to win that race.
No, there was some bumping too. There was some bumping. Both horses were off stride there.
Yeah, no, I don't think either of them wanted to win that race. I don't think you'll see a race that looks less competitive.
They were like, "You take it." No, you take it. No, I don't want it.
Yeah, the way the 6 is put her tail out and stuff, and just that was not pretty.
Big Energy.
Big Energy does get
almost
it done.
gave away the win there at the end too.
I know,
funny.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. No barbed wire by all accounts should have absolutely won that race, and just literally just went sideways. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Big Energy was kind of like, no, I insist.
Yeah.
And yeah,
you take it. No, you take it.
Exactly. But we're starting it off with a 1 to 5 favorite on top. So hopefully that doesn't set the tone for the night with the chalk coming through here.
The 2 held on for 5th, so it wasn't totally dead.
Yeah, I feel
Shows
all
them
right.
early
I feel
speed.
very good about passing this race with that margin of victory for the cost that what you'd have to pay to put big energy in your stable. Your points are not going to be worth it.
No.
But she got the job done, and that's all that counts, I guess. They don't pay any more for it being pretty.
Is when people do this, and I get it. Like if you really like your long shots, is when they put the 1 and the 6 in together. You know what I'm saying? Like like just from a stable duel, 11,000, like 8,000 just to get just to get like 19,000. That's almost like over a third of your pool going in 2 horses, and one of them can't win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I thought about it I thought about doing something similar to that in the 3rd race where I think the 2 overwhelming favorites make a lot of sense. But doing that with a horse like this in stable duel, you just can't trust.
I can see like in like 7,000, 5,000 or 8,000. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? But like 11,000 and 8,000, I don't,
Yeah, definitely. That it just doesn't make a lot of sense for a horse like this who whether the horse was going to win was kind of in question considering the 1 to 5, and the margin of victory kind of shows that you're really not going to get a whole lot extra here, but you are going to get your 60 points to win. So
yeah.
Let's see what the exotics pay out. The 4 Helen Spirit actually probably ran the best race there. The only horse who looked like she had any interest in trying to win a race.
Yeah, exactly.
And she had the back class from last year, so if she could get back to that, she could have won this race.
That's shocking. $14 exacta with those 2.
Oh, wow.
That's actually wow.
That's actually insane.
That is remarkable.
That's for $2.
I didn't even think of it. I mean, wow.
For $2, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
For 2, but still, still 6 to 1 for those 2. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you figured.
Let's see if they want to show the odds or the payouts here on the stream so that I don't have to go searching for them.
I want to see
that 4 0 for 22. Yeah, no, I'd be curious about that as well. And see I mean, it looked to me from like just that one thing that the 6 really caused her own trouble and just kind of shied away from big energy. But I'd be curious to see that again. And especially, from the head on would be interesting to see there.
Yeah, that might be a horse that comes back at maybe the same level or around here. I think probably might be a smart playback. If we can get that straightened out coming down the stretch there. I think that 6 certainly had the opportunity there to win and just twice came in and bumped up against the 1. At least I thought that is what I saw live. That's why I was hoping to see the replay here coming down the stretch. But there's your payouts. Your 1/6 exacta playing $7.20. Your $1 try pays $58. So Helen Spirit helps out on that try. And your $1 superfecta 1643. $116.
Honestly, that show interesting. The show payout on No Barbed Wire versus Helen Spirit. How was everybody in the show pool on the 4 and nobody was in there on the 6?
That's incredible.
That's wild. Should have just played the 6 to show. Like that's a
I think when it comes
price.
I think when it comes down to it, when the 6 looked over and saw that 33 buyer running right next to it, it just said, I'm in deep water. I mean,
but I mean, like, actually, though, I think that's kind of what happened. Like, it seemed to me like the horse just wanted nothing to do with the other horse being there. So that's where, to me, that horse is I don't want anything to do with No Barbed Wire going forward. I'm pretty sure.
That could be. Colin brought up something interesting. I would love to see that horse. I'm going to actually put her in my stable duel, for like a stable male, just to see. The next time she runs, I would love to put like Abley on it and then see if she can just get out. Maybe she doesn't like horse is running with her. Like, right, you see it right there. She kind of going like out, in, you know what I'm saying? Like, if just get her right to the lead, probably BBE won't be there next time. Just take her out by yourself, you know, and just see if she can, without the other horse around her, and see if she can stay straighter, you know?
Yeah, you can tell in the way she carries her tail that there's a lot of discomfort there, whether that's mental or physical. It would be hard to really say. But you can see the way the tail gets real stiff and out when coming into the stretch there. So that's kind of a sign of discomfort in the horse, and she's kind of just So
hey, look at this. We gotta be on our best. We're gonna be streaming at
man,
Foghorns. Hello, everyone at Foghorns.
Good to see you, Shoddy.
Great to see you, Shoddy. Shoddy's the best, folks. Treat her well.
Buy her a shot.
Might be the last Foghorns pick 4. Well,
no.
You know, moving on to bigger and better things, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we're going to miss the Foghorns pick 4.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Here's
Yeah,
the
let's take a look
replay here. Here's the replay, Colin. Whoa, she's all over the place.
Yeah, and then she comes back again.
Whoa.
And
yeah, never any contact, but just not.
Oh.
She almost goes into the 4.
I know.
Yeah, that's not pretty. That's not what you want to see.
Look like a Massachusetts driver in the morning going down Starho Drive trying to get through traffic.
Yeah, amen. Amen.
I can imagine.
Especially in this rain. Good Lord. Like we don't need any help even in the sun, you know.
I haven't driven through Massachusetts yet. I've driven through a lot of states and experienced a lot of different drivers, but not Massachusetts. But
yeah.
Yes, it doesn't sound like ideal.
Yellow means go faster. Just remember that. Yellow means go faster.
I'm in trouble then. I'm the worst. I am the person who slows down and prepares to stop when the light turns yellow, and I'm sorry. That is I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm terrified of running a red light.
Connecticut's where the terrible drivers are. Just stay out of Connecticut and you'll be okay.
I've had real poor luck with Pennsylvania, Florida, and I hate Texas drivers too.
Yeah.
San Antonio drivers are oblivious, and Houston drivers are mean.
All right, on to race 2.
Yeah, no, exactly. Who do you guys like in here? Colin, I'll let you start. Sounds like we have similar opinions.
I'll tell you who I don't like. That is your 2-1 favorite right now, number 4, Miami Souvenirs. This horse is about as useful as tits on a bull, as they say. Miami Souvenirs is a pro on the Monday night show. This horse ran, I think, every single Monday night, so I was surprised to see Miami Souvenirs suddenly on a Tuesday. So maybe he's trying to avoid that quality Monday night fields. It was a fairly underwhelming field of 6 for me as I went through it. I decided to go with a lot to like, number 6 as my top pick. I was going back to the Fraser angle here, but it didn't work out for me in race 1. There's not totally crazy about this pick. Last year, though, a lot to like ran the best races in September. And that was something that I kind of looked at here as far as a little bit of a pattern, has been increasing over the last couple of races. And it follows what she did at age 3, hopefully at age 4, maybe her race in late September will be one that comes back. My value pick, I went with the 3, like you said, Fingertip. I think this horse has had a lot of fast pace in the last 4 races. Look at those times on the last 4 races. 22 flat up at Assiniboia Downs. That's fast. And this horse has been trying to compete with those really, really fast paces. It's a horse that likes to be forwardly placed. Hopefully in this race here, I didn't see as much speed. So I was hoping maybe Fingertip could actually get out front and take this field wire to wire. So I was 3 is my value and number 6 on top. Wasn't crazy for Charlotte because of the trainer jockey combinations. You got 1% and 2% there. That's always tough for me to get behind. Miami Souvenirs, I'll never spend $1 on. True Kate at 8-5, I guess, is the interesting one here that I'd want to ask you about. This is one of those races where you have horses that have never won 2, and then you've got a horse in here who has 4 victories. And 8-5 on the morning line, 3-1 right now, I think, is what I see. I guess the question would be what to do with True Kate. How about you, Sean? Where did you end up?
I did not use anybody like in stable duel. I skipped the race. You know, I love Miami Souvenirs just for the heck of it. You know what I'm saying? And we're just having a fun bet. But I would never use them in like stable duel. The thing about True Kate to me, and I really looked is if you look at her form last year, she was really doing really well. I mean, like she was really on top. Chow was riding her. She was either coming in first or second, like every other race. Now she just doesn't seem to want to win. You know what I'm saying? Like she gets close, you know what I'm saying? And she's still getting checks, but she just doesn't seem to want to win. And at 8-5, I was like, you really want to pick a horse at 8-5 that just doesn't want to win. Now, you could say the same thing about Big Energy, but look at that field that he was running against. This group is a little more salty. You know what I'm saying? Like in the fact that they've, you know what I'm saying, it has a little more talent here. As you said, fingertip. And even the interesting move I find here, if I was going to play in stable duel, would be to move the order. Because I find it interesting, Sean Marinder's had a little bit of a tough meet. Wins going away with Terence Secco on, and now versus winners goes to Battle of the Bug, trying to get a little bit more speed into it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see if it can maybe last a little longer. So I think that's an interesting move, you know what I mean, by the trainer, putting the bug boy on, seeing if he can go a little bit longer. I don't know if it'll work, but I think that's just an interesting move in here. But I agree with you guys. Your 3 is definitely live in here. And the 2, as you said, the 3 and the 2 could actually go out together. So it'd be interesting to see how this race comes out.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have a whole lot to add. I liked the 3 fingertip, and then I also thought that A Lot to Like made plenty of sense in here. Was a little more of a risky pick. A Lot to Like was the kind of horse who, if there were still negative points in stable duel, I wouldn't want in stable duel. But I ended up using 3, 5, and 6 in stable duel here to try and take advantage of the short field and hope to try and catch a try here. I thought that Just for Charlotte was a horse who I really don't see on the win end, but is just super consistent. And so I liked her well enough for a stable duel play, even at the morning line odds. So that was where I ended up in here. Pretty much sounds like we see things, all of us, pretty similarly. My big question with A Lot to Like was just whether she would get the pace that she needs. Because, I mean, she has races to go back to where she's been relatively forwardly placed.
That was the same as my other one. Yeah, I'm like, what happened in the last year? You know, that's what I had to quote. What happened last year? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Which maybe that's why they're putting the bug on with A Lot to Like to try and be a little closer than she has been in the last 4 races or so.
Yeah.
So I think she makes a lot of sense. I am with Colin that I don't want Miami Souvenirs. I will let Miami Souvenirs beat me.
Yep.
As for an exacta, I mean, I think, you know, you could just do, especially with the current odds on the board, I think 3, 5, 6 box for $1 would be reasonable. I like Private Frank a lot in the next race. If you wanted to try and do something with a double, but I don't know that race is really going to be a good race to key in a double unless you really prefer either Private Frank or I Love My Life, which I feel like they're kind of tough to separate. But if you have a strong opinion there, then trying to catch a horse like Fingertip or A Lot to Like here might be a good strategy to combine with one of those favorites there.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have Assiniboia Downs doesn't have a double in this race, so you'd have to play exacta. And what I would do here is, I think the payouts that I'm looking at, I would just do a 3 key box, 3 all. So you need the 3 to win or the 3 to come in second. That'll cost you $10. The least amount of payout right now, you're going to at least double your money. If you didn't want to go both ways, I would just do 3 over everybody in my personal betting. That's how I would kind of approach this, because I think you're getting a horse who not only us, we're not the smart ones in the room, but right at the wire says 3 makes a lot of sense. Tim Hughes took 3 in the stable duel race, and I think that's probably why you're seeing right now the 3 at 4-1 after a morning line of 15-1. So at least here at Trust the Profits in the chat and on the show here, we are pretty confident in this 3. So I personally don't really care for betting boxes in only like 6-horse races. I'd rather take a stand and try to hit it better that way. That's just me personally. So I would either go 3 all, and at least looking at the probables, if you put 3 in second place and put everybody on top of the 3, maybe you catch the 6 of the 4, and that's $30 or $51. That's a pretty good payout, in my opinion, at a race like this.
Yeah, and this fingertip is very popular in stable duel as well, with 47% of stables, it looks like, having this horse in their stable duel. So this was one of those Assiniboia stable duel morning line gifts.
Yeah,
that you get a couple free card where everyone sees it, everyone knows, but you got to take the horse.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Marv's checking in. Hey, Marv, good to see you.
Hey, Marv. Hey, buddy. Hey, Todd.
Good to see you, Marv. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Todd is back, and the horses are already on the field, so they're making up for that slight delay. It's very nice when Assiniboia Downs says we have a slight delay. Well, we'll pick up the speed a little bit in the next one so we don't fall too far behind. And there is your 3 fingertip, beautiful gray, who's now down at 3-1. So this horse is taking a lot of money.
Toes, yeah. But I will say this: the one good thing, if you are a Miami Souvenirs fan, right, which if you have any money left, right, to do so, is it's 3rd time Whitehall, which I think is at least I'm just saying, at least that he's moving them in the right direction. Exactly. That is at least, I think, at least positive in his pocket.
Well, it didn't work with Badri. It didn't work with Bell. Didn't work with Cumberbatch. Didn't work with Abley. So sure, maybe
they're not Whitehall, buddy. They're not Whitehall. They're not Antonio Whitehall. Okay, there's only one in Antonio Whitehall.
Oh, look at this, best turned out horse.
Best turned out.
See? Yeah, that's right. Look at that.
Oh my God! If we start off tonight with Big Bad Energy and Miami Souvenirs, that may be it. I may just be like, that's enough for me.
Colin just rage quits.
It's good seeing y'all. Stopped in for 2, and you got it for the rest of the night. Good luck.
Right. I did like just watching the 3 warming up. I thought she looked pretty good out there. Just the body language there on that horse looked encouraging for sure.
If I had a bet on her, I'd be very optimistic.
But yeah, no, the board kind of says the story of this race right now with 4 horses at 3-1.
Yes.
Like this is a wide open race for sure.
I will say in race 5 tonight, I was high on number 8. Blazing Sky. I made that horse my top pick in my value play. Not in for a claim in race 5. When this horse has been in for a claim, he's been claimed pretty quickly. Improving speed figures this year, and the distance won't be a problem. And an important thing to notice, I don't know if you guys saw the diamond in the rough tonight in the next race, going 1 mile and 1/8 at Assiniboia Downs. That might as well be a 2-mile race up there.
Yeah.
Right. Total marathon distance at this track. And no, I liked that Blazing Sky. I think Kate's Princess looks tough in that race, but the 8 was definitely like an easy second pick for me, and one that I didn't end up going with in stable duel. Never mind, I lied. But I did like that horse too.
Kurt likes the 5. Stretch likes the 3. Right at the wire. Yeah, 5-turn race up next.
Yeah. Interesting that neither of them have the 6 in their top 3. Which, I get, but also I'm just a little surprised about that. I felt that at least like speed figures wise and with her consistency that she was a horse who made a lot of sense. Maybe not one you can lean on, but who can you lean on in a race like this? The 6.
Yeah.
that neither Kurt or Stretch had her in the
Yeah.
top three,
Yeah.
which I just thought
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Worth the play. Yeah.
See if they know
Yeah.
something I don't there.
They both used the 5, and that was just I have a trouble picking a jockey and a trainer at 1%, 2% with over 50 races, 55 races for each of them. So it's not like it's a small sample size.
Yeah,
That just
no,
makes it tough
that's
for me.
understandable. Yeah, that's getting pretty
Has closed
rough.
well. Has a couple of races where it's shown the ability to run late. As one good positive that I had written about just for Charlotte.
We'll
But
see
I'm
if
hoping
that
Fingertip can get a little break from that fast pace he's been up against the last couple, and maybe just go wire to wire here.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the hope there. We are getting that Anakozana form there with just for Charlotte, which worked out a little bit for Big Energy, who
Yes,
chased
it
that
did,
horse
yeah.
home a little bit,
Yeah.
a little while back. Fred Rawson. Yeah, no, I've the trainer on True Kate. I've not heard this name before at Assiniboia, Todd. But I guess we'll see how she does here. 1 for 14, but 11 for 14 in the money. So don't let that deceive you. We'll go ahead and get our sound back on here. Maybe.
Miami Souvenirs, the next to go in.
Right. See, right. She turns it on right at the perfect time. Oh.
Just for Charlotte's turn. Just
Ethan,
two
which
left
picture are you
load.
talking about, my friend?
A current 2-1 favorite. A lot to like. And just waiting on True Kate to the inside. Fingertip a little fractious. They're at the post.
Ooh.
And they're off. Hopping a bit at the start was moved to order. Fingertip quickly assumes command of the early lead. True Kate moving up to the outside in second, 3 wide. Miami Souvenirs up close
Sitting
early.
right off.
A gap of 4 more lengths back to a lot to like with just for Charlotte to the inside and move to order. The early trailer after the poor beginning, about 8 off of it. The opening quarter, 23 seconds. Battling on the front, that's Fingertip and True Kate. Miami Souvenirs making a move 3 wide. Then just for Charlotte, starting to make up ground with a lot to like and move to order. It's still a trailer, 3 across the track. 48 and 4 the half mile. They hit the head of the lane. Fingertip battling back on the outside. That's True Kate now taking the lead by a length. True Kate with the lead on the far outside. A lot to like, coming like a freight train. A lot to like, blows on by. And just for Charlotte, rallies for second. Third's going to go to True Kate, and fourth, move to order.
That's sad when you win a bet when your horse finishes second last compared to dead last.
Yeah. Right. Well, we did great there, right?
We killed it there. Exactly.
We got that last and second last exacta there with
if there was ever a time the Souvenirs should have won, sitting right off those two, dueling people, and the horse.
Yeah, no, I thought going into the turn.
Yeah,
I thought it was over.
I thought we were going to lose Colin for the rest of the night there going around the turn. Honestly,
Right.
All of a sudden he did his usual flatten out like a board. But you love that 6.
Exactly.
Not even money. Wow.
Yeah,
Hammered him.
She won, but that seems kind of silly. But I mean, it's that late money at Assiniboia, right?
It is, yeah.
The two actually ran a really good race for a horse who wanted to be up front and completely missed the break.
Yeah,
actually was coming running with a little run there, so that might be a horse to keep an eye on next time. As depending on how this race comes back, this wasn't a bad effort at all, despite finishing 4th here.
I almost use Just for Charlotte, just for the exact reason you said. They're just the most consistent horse in this race. They just always run a good race. You know, they never win, but they run a good race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm like, if that 3 could have held on for 5th, that would have been great for my stable duel.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so it goes. So it goes.
You and
I'm not the only one.
47% had them.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And when I saw that 23 and 12, I thought that set up good for the 3 who was on top. And I was like, oh, so he's finally getting a little bit of a break here. Then they went 46 half, 46 and 4, which, you know, that they certainly picked it up there. I thought, like you, Miami Souvenirs was going to blow by them, and Fingertip actually pulled away a little bit from Miami Souvenirs at the top.
Yeah.
But then it was just too much for a lot to like. And just for Charlotte, the one thing I did say, although the trainer and jockey angles were low, was that the horse has closed pretty well on some horses in the last couple of races. So that horse got up. A lot to like. I did have my top pick, but even money, I don't know. Like I said, I would have done a 3 all 3 from a betting standpoint, and we missed on that one. But
yeah, True Kate just loves to come in second and third. You know what I mean? He just loves to pick up checks. You know what I'm saying? Just is not a winning horse, but it's always there. You know,
Yeah, exactly. That, like, at 8 to 1, like Tim was saying, at 8 to 5 morning line to 8 to 1. You know, the horse who I thought about for a stable duel and would have liked for stable duel.
If that horse is 8 to 1, that's an automatic play. That's an automatic play.
Yeah, absolutely.
She loves to get in the money. You know.
But yeah, as the 8 to 5 favorite on the morning line, you just couldn't take that horse. I feel like in stable duel.
Let me just quickly enter Ethan here. Ethan, I've been doing very well, my friend. Thank you. Up at Woodbine Mohawk.
Miami Souvenirs.
So yeah, don't take my betting advice.
Miami Souvenirs shores up the last spot in my pyramid of horses. Definitely at the bottom for the rest of the year. So good, big energy, gets to leap up, jumps up a few spots. But Miami Souvenirs lands right where I expected her to.
Yep.
Yeah, that exacted there 6.5, paid $6.85. So at least you'd be making a smidgen of a profit if you did what I thought. The try 651, 34.50. Superfecta for $1, $202.10. So yeah, this is
nice.
So it goes. Even money favorite. So moving right along here. Oh, whoops. I keep hitting a button that keeps doing things. Sorry.
Yep.
I need a bigger desk space, which I actually have a desk in the basement right now, but that would require putting it together and getting the desk that is currently upstairs somewhere else. So we'll see how many months the new desk just sits there.
Over 30 viewers. We thank you all. Please hit that like button for us. It does so much for us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah.
You definitely want to check out El Hombre going crazy about the Lions. Big victory. He's putting out some great shorts for you. Not sorry to all you Jets fans that experienced what you experienced last night. That's why we're here on Tuesdays now, so we can allow you to watch the Monday night football. So we'll be here for the rest of September on Tuesday nights. So please just hit that like button for us. Capping the Card will come out for the Tuesday night shows now. And Breeders' Cup season is underway, and we are strategizing in the back to bring you guys some great content. So please
it'd be great
for all that great stuff. And Jessica, did you spend 8 hours today on your pedigree video? How long was the effort for today?
So I started at about 10, and then I finished at about 6.
There you go.
And that does not include the hours that I put into writing the video. That is just the time I spent recording and then editing it. So yeah, I have a big old chonker of a video coming out tomorrow evening about inbreeding in the thoroughbred that you could totally I would appreciate if you people watch.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely, folks. Take a listen. It's amazing.
I'm pretty proud of it.
What you wrote last week was quite both informative and awesome, by the way. You know,
Well, thank you. Yeah, no,
I learned so much that I had no idea about. You know,
yeah, no, we're going full blown biology lesson. Like I made graphics, I made examples, I made what's the difference between heterozygous and homozygous? What are chromosomes?
Would you call
I
me?
went all in, and we'll see if it pays off, if people gravitate toward it. But moving on here to race.
Well, hold on.
three. Oh,
Hold on. Before we move on, I got to get on my soapbox because I got a bone to pick with Mr. Sean Patrick Nolan. This guy, with me, the three of us sat around the table up at Saratoga.
Yes.
And we're handicapping, and Sean says, I got this horse you guys got to check out. Call up Del Mar race blah 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 from our last week and look at this
race
horse.
2
said, okay.
Endlessly. Yeah.
So we said, okay, Sean, and me and Jessica watched it together and endlessly, and he said, this horse is going to win next time out. You right now, I guess shame on me and you, Jessica, for not putting endlessly in our stable. But
yes,
shame on
I told
Sean.
you to put him in your stable.
Shame on Sean.
I did say that.
For letting Del Mar have endlessly entered in another race and no heads up, no nothing from Sean until after, where he says, wow, endlessly's a beast. And I went, oh my God, come on, Sean. Thought we were like this.
We are, right, exactly. I owe you one. Absolutely.
Yeah. But that was an impressive effort, though.
One of the funny thing about this, I don't know if you guys heard it, Todd and Mike, right? They had a pick 5 on TVG, right? They were 4 out of 5. The horse they did not use was endlessly. They would have paid $26,000 for him, and they did not put endlessly on Mike. And I messaged Todd. I said, "See, this is what happens when you leave out the Ammermans." Exactly.
Yeah, that was a big effort.
But he's going to be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Those Oscar performance babies are great.
Oh, love them.
All right, you're off the hook, Sean. Next time you got me though.
Next time, exactly.
Yeah. We won't let it happen again.
Put them in your stable meal. I'm telling you right now.
I will.
Yeah.
And shout out Tim, who's giving a props to capping the car. The formula did Kentucky Downs for tomorrow, and they are on a lot
last day
of
in Kentucky Downs
already.
Yep.
Short meat.
No more of those uphill, downhill, backhill, scream hill.
All right, Jessica, you're on the spot for race 3 here. As we talked about, we're going 1.1 miles, a distance you don't see many times up at Assiniboia Downs, and that's exactly. I'll show you my notes because the thing I wrote is distance ? Yes. That's exactly what you have to pay attention to. So, Jessica, we'll start with you. Who did you like here in race 3?
Well, first, shout out, we have a celebrity race caller in the chat, Jason Beam. Love to see it.
Beamer.
But second of all, I went with the horses who had already gone a mile in here. I wasn't super interested in a lot of the horses stretching out. Of them, I think that Valid Defense was the most kind of interesting. Ashin Forward's average winning distance is 6.8 furlongs, which is pretty good compared to a lot of the rest in here. And the Dam was a winner going 8.5 furlongs. So that would be the one horse who I think could step up with the distance. But I really thought that the two favorites in here were going to be pretty tough, Private Frank and I Love My Life. Of the two, I feel like I'm kind of splitting hairs. It's a matter of, Private Frank didn't really get a chance to go a mile last time, just kind of a effort where you just have to draw a line through it and hope for the best. So I'm kind of want to give an edge, I think, to I Love My Life, who at least had that decent effort going a mile for sure. I would probably end up going 5-1-2 as my top 3 in this spot. Feel like the 5 should also have a little bit of a pace edge on Private Frank. Sean, what did you think?
I used one horse here for stable duel, and that's the 6, Kentucky Jake. I used him as just again, as you said, Colin, the distance, like for everybody. It's interesting to me turning sprinters into distance runners. Like if they don't, they don't like it. this horse, Kentucky Jake, never seems to really ever be on the lead. And he ran once at a mile. The connections originally thought to put this horse in the Buffalo 40K at a mile first time out. You know what I'm saying? He didn't run a lick, but he was 25-1. But they put him in the mile thinking that he could run the distance. You know, he didn't run, and he just seems to have run solid but not great races. He just seems like a Kentucky Bear needs a little bit more distance. And I think if these guys up front all of a sudden find and this is from a stable duel point, find the going a little bit too long, then I thought, just for value, I thought Kentucky Jake was an interesting play here. And the first
is a half to a winner of the Buffalo Stakes, which could be why they were thinking that with him on debut. And I mean, that's another one where you can kind of just line through that effort at the distance and hope that the stretch out helps. I mean, Fred Rawson's 1 for 5 doing 2 sprints to a route, 1 for 7 going sprint to route. So there's some things to like there.
Yeah, just for value. I didn't, I wasn't trying to play him to quote win the race. I was just trying. I kind of skipped the race from a win, a betting standpoint. But
yeah, definitely. But get that 10-1 in stable duel and try and get some points with him that totally makes sense as a decent strategy there, I think.
By the way, I think our celebrity guest, what did he go to, like his 93rd track? What was it? He was at Finger Lakes today. I forget what number track Jason is on, but he was at Finger Lakes either yesterday or today checking it out. So his number of tracks just keeps growing and growing by the day, which is awesome.
One of the few people who can rival Sean for number of racetracks visited, I'm sure. We need to get Jason in on one of the shorts of which tracks you've been to. 73 tracks. Wow. That is a lot of
73, Jason. That's awesome.
I love that.
Take a bow, my friend. And by the way, can I just say he did amazing job on Virginia Derby Day.
Yes.
Amazing. The man has become an absolute elite announcer. Absolutely.
Definitely. It's been great seeing him at Colonial out there.
Oh, he's the best.
Which is a track I've got to get to sometime. Like, realistically, it's not far from like my original neck of the woods there in Maryland, but just never actually managed to get out there and check it out. And it seems like a really fun track. And maybe next year. That's what I keep saying about every track.
Trust the Prophets road trip to Colonial. I like it.
Let's do it.
With the Beamer. Exactly. Love it.
It'd be a good time.
I had a blast there. Absolute blast. So who do we like out here?
Who's everybody in the chat?
Who did you go with?
I'm gonna go with the 5 on top. 5-1-2. The 2 would be my value pick here.
Yeah.
I feel like the speed just kind of favors the 5, and in a race like this, I mean, going a mile and an eighth is a lot. So I'm kind of leaning on the idea that they'll hopefully slow things down and be a little more cautious going that distance, and it'll lean to front runners. But we will see how that goes out. That actually plays in stable duel. Where did I go in stable duel? I don't even remember now. Yeah, in stable duel, I just used the 5. I love my life in this race. So we'll see. Dan's got 5-1 in here as well.
Yeah. Hey, Dan.
And 5-2 on the 5, I think, is pretty reasonable.
And by the way, if anyone doesn't, we have to plug it. One of the best podcasts in the game is Jason Bean.
Yes,
no doubt about it. You have to tune in. Amazing the work the man does.
Yeah, absolutely. He's absolutely one of the most just entertaining podcasts. Jason's really easy to listen to. A lot of times, I feel like sometimes horse racing podcasts, they get a little. It's not that the people are boring or anything. Jason just has like this charisma and this way of holding space and airtime.
And the audiences. Yeah, which is awesome. You know?
Exactly. And he gets great guests. And so, yeah, no, absolutely. Got to check out his podcast and everything that he's doing because it's definitely worth your time.
Absolutely.
Looks like we are getting close to post time here.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. Well, Tim's going to be at Churchill Downs on Thursday for opening day. Have
Oh,
fun,
that's
Tim.
exciting. Yeah, it'll
That's
be a lot
very
of fun.
exciting. All the people back there glad to have racing back for sure. Sugar
Yeah, I'm
Daddy
sure
Jack was the best turned out.
Looked a little rowdy there. He knows he looks good. We'll see. He was a past sleepy time pick as well, wasn't he?
I think he was.
We'll see. This is an interesting spot for him to turn up, I thought. Coming in here first off the claim for Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
And also stretching out. He's interesting. I'm not sure I really like him on top or anything, but he wouldn't shock me really in here either. I mean, at least on Brisnet, he has the highest last out figure of anybody in here, unless you toss the last race for Private Frank entirely. But, that 77 Brisnet figure absolutely puts him in the mix here, and maybe that's what they were looking at when deciding to go to this spot with Sugar Daddy Jack.
Mm.
And I mean, looking at go ahead.
Yeah. The one is a real mystery to me. That last race, I just don't know. If you take out that last race, what is he 1-9? I'm saying on the but it was that
Absolutely.
a result of he just had something go wrong and his jockey was just smart and just say, we'll wait for another day,
Yeah, no, that was I think that was a Monday night when we were watching that race. Because he was pretty highly regarded in there. And
he was
kind of like in position and just stopped. And got like pulled up late. So and I mean, I guess he was all right because he's coming back. But that was a race that's just a mystery. It was just too bad to be true type of effort, I feel like. So you kind of just had to put a line through it and hope for the best moving forward here. And it does look like Stretch likes him on top here as well.
Use my 6 and the 3rd. I like it, Stretch.
Tim's got the 3 and the 5 in stable duel, which I think Sugar Daddy Jack, like especially as like a stable duel play, fits in here. Colin, what did you like in here? I don't think we've heard that yet.
Yeah, sorry, I got some stuff to attend to popping up. My top pick, I did end up going with 1 Private Frank, and my value pick was Sugar Daddy Jack. I thought those speed figures of the 4 previous races prior to the last one for Private Frank were certainly a standout, and 4 victories up at Assiniboia Downs, 4 out of 6 lifetime. The fact that I Love My Life won in a mile last time out is obviously enticing, but I really liked the angles here on Sugar Daddy Jack, who you're getting first off of the claim for a trainer who hits at 43%, going from 2 sprints into a route. It might be a 2-horse race with the 1 and the 5, but if you're going to go with a longer shot, the 3 was who I had, which was a former Sleepy Time pick. I heard you asking about that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, no, he makes sense to me. Like I said, I like the 2, I think, as my value pick outside of the top 2 favorites, but I could definitely see Sugar Daddy Jack in here.
I would love to know the percentage, I don't know it, of what Antonio Whitehall's numbers are in the long races, because he seems to win a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting.
I have that here for you. You ask and I shall deliver.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Antonio Whitehall on routes, 21 starts. How many wins do you think he has, Sean?
6?
10.
10. Yeah, I was just going to say. I was just going to say. It seems like every other race, and I was being generous. Every other long race, he seems to win. It's crazy, including the Manitoba Derby.
Sounds like not even an exaggeration.
No, exactly. Yeah, he just loves this distance, and
Yeah, I mean, at a track like this where you don't get a whole lot of opportunities to, learn how to ride this distance, it kind of makes sense that you got the guys who know how to do it and the ones who don't
Yeah.
so much. Keith wants to know if this is the first time that you've picked a former Sleepy Time pick as a value pick later on, Colin. Could be a reasonable angle going forward. The Sleepy Time to value angle.
That's a good question. It's hard to keep track of all of them, but I keep track of the ones that beat me. And so I know Sugar Daddy Jack was the original one that beat me. Then it was All Terrain Jane. So I have not picked one of. I know actually that I lied. I had taken All Terrain Jane in one of my value plays not too long ago.
Yeah.
She didn't do
Love
good.
it. So depending on how Sugar Daddy Jack runs here, it might be an angle that you fade moving forward.
121,000 in the pick 5.
Yeah, look at that growing.
To
Wow.
load. I love my life.
Good luck, everybody, with everything you've got going here.
Yeah,
And
good luck,
just waiting
everybody.
on Kentucky, Jake.
Jake.
Field is set. They're at the post. I love my life. Francis in the starting gate.
Ooh.
Unseating rider Antonio Whitehall.
Oh, just when I give him a compliment.
He's climbing back
Jeez.
aboard. All systems go. They're at the post once again. And they're off in the 53rd running of the JW Sifton. I love my life. Stumbled early out of the starting gate, but has recovered nicely on the inside. Private Frank, Keystone Cash, showing early speed today and will get the lead by a length and a half. Private Frank on the rail in second, 3 wide. I love my life. Settled back behind them a length. That's going to be Kentucky Jake with on the rail Sugar Daddy Jack. And the early trailer will be Valid Defense. They went the opening quarter in 24-1. Keystone Cash running easy with that lead by a length and a half. Private Frank now moves to the outside in between horses to challenge Keystone Cash. 3 wide. I love my life. Still right there. Stalking those 3. That's Kentucky Jake with Sugar Daddy Jack and Valid Defense. Still has about 9 to make up the half in 49 seconds. Turning into a match race now between Private Frank on the inside and I Love My Life. Less than 3 furlongs to go. 6 furlongs in 1:14. Private Frank on the inside. I Love My Life on the outside. Trying to rally into him. Sugar Daddy Jack in third. They hit the head of the lane. I Love My Life with the lead. In second on the inside, that's still Private Frank. And Sugar Daddy Jack coming with a big late run, a 16th of a mile to go, and an upset in the making. Sugar Daddy Jack is going to take the 53rd running of the JW Sifton. Close for second between Valid Defense and I Love My Life.
Great pick
Shotty's
there with
happy.
Sugar Daddy Jack.
Don't
Shotty's
fade the
happy.
former Sleepy Time pick, baby. Don't fade
Yep.
that, Keith.
Sugar
Love
Daddy
it.
Jack.
Yeah. Yeah, that sprinter route angle played out there. He looked good.
Off the
Curious to see
claim,
who
right?
got
As you
second
said.
there.
Yeah. What a claim.
Yeah, right. Claiming
What
him
a
for
claim.
$62.50, coming back and taking this $40,000 purse.
What a move by the
Nice
2.
little race there from Valid Defense, who I thought I was like, oh man, this horse is going to make me look dumb, isn't he? Going
Yeah.
in the beginning of the race, he was way far back, but yeah, came with a nice little run and might have beat out my stable
was-
horse. I Love My Life for
Yeah.
second there.
That was kind of like when my thought there with when I used the 6. You know, like I wanted someone who's going to come from behind if this group was distance challenged down the end. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that too came flying. You know,
Yeah, no, he did end up, it looks like relishing the distance, but let's see. Yeah, got second there, which
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
is
you know,
cool because I liked him, but also not cool because I used the 5
Yeah.
in stable 2 and not the 2. So hopefully someone combined our value plays and got a nice little
Yeah.
exacta there.
And that's nice 15 to 1, 12 to 1. If you use those two, you're doing really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, right at the wire, had the exacta. And Tim pointing out that 45% of people had Sugar Daddy Jack in stable duels. So that's not looking good for my stable since I was not one of them.
Yeah. I tossed both the
And-
favorites and just tried to beat them.
Well done. Yeah, didn't, right strategy here. Because I honestly kind of thought that the two favorites looked tough in here. And I think that's something that I'm learning with these Assiniboia route races, these route stakes, that I feel like at least this year and the time I've been following them, they're kind of races that you can often find good value in.
Yeah. Especially if you think, like, as I said to you guys, the sprinters to the routes just don't always work. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're running well at 7 furlongs doesn't mean you're going to run well at a mile and 8, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
How many of those Gulfstream horses, how many of those Gulfstream horses do you see they win at 7 furlongs but can't win in a mile? You know what I'm saying? It's only like an eighth of a furlong difference, but that 1 furlong is all the difference to them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. All right, guys,
And
I get some
Keith also pointed out that
emergency to attend to. Nothing serious, but I get a jump. So you guys, good luck. The next race, real quick, I thought there was a ton of speed, so I liked the 1 Dazzling Gold. You talked about Whitehall being really good on the routes at 27%. Watch out for Nault, who is really good at the sprints. So I liked the 1 in the next one. And then I talked about number 8 in race 5. So those will be my 2 walk-offs. And thanks you guys for covering tonight, and good luck.
All the best.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Colin. Have a good night.
Good night.
Put endlessly in your stable mail before your emergency.
You give me another winner, Sean. Give me a winner.
I will.
Sugar Daddy Jack getting that little Assiniboia Stakes victory off the claim for was that Shelley Brown?
Right.
No, got claimed from Shelley Brown. Now in the barn of Carl Anderson.
Right.
So
and Jess would know this one, right? He forgets that I gave him on his Twitter thing. Remember Mark Hennig at 25 to 1 with Dylan?
Oh yeah.
Right, exactly. Oh, yeah. He forgets that one, you know. They gave him.
Right.
Well, Hombre says my stable duel is done.
You and me both, Hombre. I am not looking good. I don't even want to look at stable duel at this point with the way my it's a good thing they don't do negative points anymore, because I would have been racking up some of my first negative points at Assiniboia today.
Yeah, right.
So let's see what these payoffs ended up at, though, as I've even lost my phone to check stable duel if I wanted to. So it goes.
I kind of built my team weird tonight, where I had put a lot of long shots in the beginning, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not doing bad considering they're coming like 4th and like 3rd and 2nd, you know? So.
Yeah, that's what I tend, like, I started out, I would do that a lot at stable duel, but I felt like it was just never getting me the win, at least in the free race contests. So let's see here. That $2 or dollar exacta paid $49.10. That dollar try, $114.20. Dollar super, $343.40. Dollar pick 3, $32.40. And as Keith was pointing out, some nice place prices here. Sugar Daddy Jack paying $19 to win, 7 to place, $270 to show. Valid Defense, $10.10 to place, and $290 to show. Would have been a good one to just pop across the board, either one of those.
Absolutely. I still want to know how that 6 paid $8.70 to show in the other race. That's incredible as a second favorite, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that was weird. That was interesting. I feel like this is kind of track where the pools are small enough that it's worth looking at place and show pools if you're
Tim
like
always points that out. He said he always checks the place pools just to see exactly. You can get some real value if you like a horse.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that would be a go-to strategy for me if I was like really focusing in on betting and not multitasking when looking at these cards. That would be really a good way to pinpoint some value and just do win, play, show bets honestly. I feel like this is the kind of track where you could really
Oh yeah.
do well
Yeah.
doing that.
Absolutely. Fan of the night, Candace Scott. Good job. Fan of the night.
Maybe we should do a fan of the night. We'll just start doing like
We
comments of the
should.
night or something. Like
Absolutely.
just maybe we can. I don't know if we can come up with some sort of
We can
prize. I don't know.
definitely do that. Yes.
We need to get
We can
Assiniboia
definitely
Downs to send us more and to send us some stuff we can send to people or something. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely. Yeah, for the fan of the night. Yeah.
But moving on here, race
Moving on to
number
race
4. 5.5 furlongs for fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of 3. And I am right with Colin in this one. I loved Dazzling Gold in
Yeah.
here. I felt like this horse made just a ton of sense. Second off the claim, a horse who is just consistently putting in her good efforts that are getting the paycheck. And I just wrote stable duel was the only thing I wrote here. So I'm like, yeah, that was my top pick. And then I thought the outside 2 horses in here were both also kind of interesting. I thought that the 8 looked like could be the speed of the speed in here.
Yeah.
And, 1 for 2 in Assiniboia so far since coming in from across town.
Yeah.
And so that horse I thought was interesting. And then the 7 Diamond Grand, if the pace sets up, which there's enough pressing type horses in here. I thought that Diamond Grand was kind of the other one who made some sense in here, who should be coming from the back. Who did you like in here, Sean?
Yeah, no, I'm one of those people that just hates using 3 horses in one race. You're talking. I had at 1.17 and 8 in this in my stable duel. I'm like, I hate having 3 horses, especially in Assiniboia, like in one race. You know what I'm saying? It could either be great or it could just blow up in your face. So I just went with and the 1. Anyone who used the 1, I think he is an absolute playable horse because that's the one I eliminated. I had to eliminate 1, and I think the 1 is a very and as my null at the distance is great. You know what I'm saying? But I went with the 2 outside horses, and I just thought that Tipsy at the bar, interesting. The race, Bell gets back on. I thought that last race was really good. $5,000 from going from allowance 18. I mean, you're running against Otter Pop, Cousin Caps, Danzig, Starstorm. Like in Art Petunia, who's actually Art Petunia is actually a very good horse up there. So I think this horse has got some real value. And then the 7 with Whitehall for Gounod, they're like 18-20% together. I just thought he's finally putting this horse in a spot where he can win. And he's finally found the right group. So I think the 7 is going to be ultra tough in this group, and I used the 8 as the value.
Yeah, totally fair on the 7. And the 8, of course, opens up as the favorite at 9-5 here. But, that makes a good value horse for stable duel, and that's why it looks like 55% of stables have the 8 Tipsy at the bar.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I'm curious to see if this 7-1 on Dazzling Gold holds, because if so, that's
terrible. That's a great price. I mean, like he should be lower, but if you're better, you gotta love that.
Yeah, I'm like anything at that 5-1 morning line or higher. I'm kind of interested in this horse as just a straight across the board type of bet. I feel like. But there are some others in here that I thought were worth talking about, even though I didn't end up using them. Horses, like the 5, Moa Aretha is a horse who has been very consistent these last 4 races, hitting the board with consistency at this 5.5 furlong distance. And, Brisnet has that one as the 3rd ranked on Prime Power, has finished 3rd, both tries at Assiniboia. But was one who I kind of wouldn't shock me, but was also just a horse that I didn't think really had anything to put her over the edge compared to the others.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts there on Moaritha.
Yeah, it's just consistency,
Mhm.
I was a little like not puzzled, but like obviously you're at Will Rogers Downs running in 25,000 non-winners or two, and then now you're at Assiniboia and 5,000 non-winners or three, and you're not winning, which I thought
Mhm.
was interesting. You're close, she's not hasn't been in disgrace, but hasn't won. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like Ali gets this horse close, but then just tires a little bit in the lane,
Mhm.
and if this horse gets involved with like the 8 early, what I'm saying, it could be the same thing again, but I mean, obviously, if you're doing like exactas and trifectas, this horse is a must use because it just loves coming in the money,
Yeah, exactly.
So I would not throw it out by any means.
Yeah, I feel like this could be a horse who like inherits the lead from the pace setters and then gets
Mm.
passed by a horse like the 1 or the 7 late.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the 6 was a horse who was a short price on the morning line, taking a little bit of a drop in class here. And I
Yeah.
mean, if she runs that race 2 back, she probably wins this, but
Yeah.
was just a horse that was too inconsistent for me to really can give a huge shot to here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I do think and I'll say this if the 7 runs its race, if there's enough speed up here, I think Whitehall's going to become flying. With
Yeah,
this, I think he's definitely the horse to be. He was one of my
definitely.
best plays of the night. I think he just from a class standpoint overlays this field. I mean, out of the include, out of a Grand Slam, don't see those two up here too much,
Right.
but I just thought this horse just on paper looked, so much better. I mean, third in
Oh
the
yeah,
men for
definitely.
Oaks, so
Yeah, definitely the one to beat here. I would say the 7. I like the 1's chances to do that, but
yeah,
the 7
yeah.
is the horse that I think that they all have to beat
No,
here.
I would, as I told you, I had 178 originally in my thing. I think the one is
Mhm.
definitely the horse who could upset the apple cart.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, that price is coming down now on Dazzling Gold, 3-1 with 5-2 on the 2 outside
Yeah,
horses
no doubt.
as they
Yeah,
head out onto the track. But
yeah.
that means we have a little bit of a minute or two to chat here, and we talked about endlessly earlier. But let's talk about Tamara.
Oh my God.
That was that was an exciting race this weekend.
Does she look like she's like her mom's twin? That's what's so
Right,
scary. It's the same
right,
move. And around the 3/8, it was like I'm like, am I watching the Pacific Classic here all
right.
over again? I mean, she
Like,
just made the same move that her mom did. It was unbelievable.
yeah, no, I'm very excited for her. I mean, and I'm a huge Dreamfire fan. I think Dreamfire
Yeah.
is really, really good.
Oh, when
But
she
I
was
think
scratched, I
they
was
dodged a
devastated
bullet.
for you. Yeah.
But I think they dodged a bullet
Yeah. I don't
scratching out
know
of
if
that
if
race.
anyone was beating her that day. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure anybody was. Dreamfire, it would have been interesting to see, but yeah, no, that was so impressive. I can't wait because I mean, on pedigree, she should stretch out at least a bit. The
Oh
Volta
yeah.
Oros don't really want to go that far, I think, but I'm not sure that she's going to end up being like her mother, where she'll get a mile and a quarter. But
Yeah.
I think that Breeders' Cup, at least we should be able to. She should be competitive there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It is not a bad time to be Papa Mandela right now in his barn heading towards
Right.
the Breeders' Cup. He's got some guns. He's got some bullets there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, it sounds like Mike Smith is really high on her. So it should be really exciting to see her career progress. Beholder was one of those like rare talents where we had a horse who was super precocious. She won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, of course,
Yeah.
but then also went on with it as an older horse, which you'll love to see. She was a top level horse for what, 4 seasons
Yeah.
from 2 to 6.
Grade one in every single year. 2, 3,
Yeah,
4, 5. That's ridiculous. A grade one win in that many years in a row.
yeah. And it's so great to see her starting to kind of reproduce herself a bit. She got a stakes winner earlier this year with Tina Ella, her 3-year-old, I believe. And then after really her first 2 foals were not very good, although they were both lightly raced.
Yeah.
They both really were very uninspiring. So it's interesting to see the turnaround here with now 2 graded stakes winners and a very exciting curling colt who
Yes.
sold at
Oh my
Fasig-Tipton,
God.
Saratoga.
What night is that supposed to be?
That was at Fasig-Tipton,
There's that
Saratoga.
pheasant.
That
Yeah.
yeah, she
How
went for
exciting
4
is that?
million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
which I
exciting is
think,
that? Yeah.
frankly, I mean, look, Tamara makes it look a little less insane, but I don't know that horse is gonna be all that good.
Yeah.
So screen cap that me saying that for when the horse wins the Kentucky Derby in a couple of years or something. But I'm a little worried about that horse. I think that horse is a little nutty,
Yeah.
personality wise, and he just wasn't really like physically, like he wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting that they went to 4 million for him, but we'll see. We'll see come
Should
next year, the year after.
Should they change the name of Fasig-Tipton to the Into Mischief Uncle Mo Curlin Show? Just like it's
Right.
just on the
That's what Keeneland's been this year so far. If you
Good
don't have an
Lord.
Inch
My God.
or an Uncle Mo, nobody wants
If
it.
you're not those 3, good luck. Exactly.
Yeah, no, and that's, I mean, on one hand, that creates a lot of great opportunities for value with other sires who people just don't even look twice at.
Yeah.
But like, there are more than 3 good stallions in the country, which is
yeah.
something I'll be talking about a little bit in that video that will be coming out tomorrow.
That's
about
awesome. Yes. Everyone
it's just-
tune in. Make sure you tune in for sure.
Yeah, or just you got like 3 stallions who, and if you don't have one of those, your horse isn't by one of those stallions, then your horse isn't commercial. It doesn't even matter if your horse is a good horse. Nobody is going to want to buy them if they're not by either, one of the 3 mentioned or by a hot young stallion. Like right now, I think McKinsey is one who is pretty hot at the sales, and Vacoma. I haven't actually been keeping up super much with the book 1 stuff from Keeneland September because they're just high-priced horses, and frankly, I think they're kind of boring because of the Mischief Uncle Mo factor. It's like, well, yes, this is a good horse. Turn the page. So I dig deep into book 5.
Yeah,
that was my my sweet spot this year was doing some of that for a client.
I want to see those Bolt D'Oros. I want to see those Bolt D'Oros.
Yes, I love Bolt d'Oro, and that's another reason I really like Tamara. Is I just think Bolt d'Oro is a really outstanding stallion.
This could be his big breakout, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. He's been real solid with his first crops, and this might though be the horse that really the superstar that kind of catapults him to the next level as a stallion. And I mean, he's from a huge stallion family. Just off the top of my head, horses from his female family that are stallions include Mr. Prospector, Seattle Slew, Forestry, Elusive Quality, and Quality Road. And that's just really snappy. There's others too, but those are the big ones that matter. So it's a stallion producing family.
Wow.
So he's gonna be good, and I can't wait to see more of Tamara. But we are heading toward the post here.
Yeah, they need more daily doubles.
Yeah, no, they do, because there is not a double in this race.
Carlos just brought.
If you wanted to try that, but no doubles here. And then who do we all got?
Hey, Neil.
Right at the
How are
wires
you, Neil?
going 1-7. Oh, hi, Neil. Neil the real deal. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks for stopping by, but always.
Definitely.
Look at this board. This is an interesting board again.
Yeah, no, it is, especially because I feel like on paper, I mean, these were the 3 that both of us kind of singled out as being the horses to look at in here, but it doesn't seem like they really lay over this field. You can make a case for plenty of others in here. I mean, even the 4 Tecate Gold has some back class to go to, not that far back even, since the claim hasn't been doing as well. But, if Maria Stanford can figure her out, there are races for that horse to go back to that would make her competitive in here. I mean, the speed figures, I mean, we talked about the 5 being really consistent. talked about the 6 having races that make sense and coming in on a drop. So this is an interesting group here. And I think at that 5-1, we'll see if it stays that way. I might throw a little
On the one, yeah.
bet on the
It's
1
always
here.
value.
I think
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah,
I do find it
even 9-2.
interesting
We'll
that
take it.
both Kurt and Stretch use the 5 on top. But
Yeah,
in their pick 4 plays, they went 4 deep on the front in both, which is not usually when you have a similar pick. You know what I'm saying? They still went 4 deep, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is a race where I feel like, you can't really lean on anybody, but the fact that they both like the 5 kind of makes me scared that maybe I'm missing something there, having that horse as like my 4th choice in the race.
Yeah.
So, we got Inopfa here as well.
Hey,
Thanks
buddy.
for hanging out, friend. Stretch is the on-air handicapper for Assiniboia Downs.
Yeah.
Frank, just noticing that he won, isn't that the best feeling? When you aren't even paying enough attention, you're just kind of
well done.
Well, hey, I've got a winner. That's a great feeling.
That is the best.
Raymond likes the 8.
You're like, wait a minute, how did you do this?
Where did that money come from? I'll take that.
Raymond Brigantino, how are you? 40 to win on the 8. Ooh.
All right.
I like that. I'm with you.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense in here. Oh, the 7. Just kidding. The 7, he said. Who also makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's see. As they head into the gate here, I'll go ahead and grab some sound for you.
Dazzling Gold, the first one into the starting gate.
Oh, notice
Really
they're only
now
one out tonight. They've the last couple of weeks, they've been 2 spaces out on the 1. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. The next one to go.
They probably don't want to put the 8 too far out for this one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could be.
That's probably in like a 4-horse field. They're probably doing the 2 out. You know what I'm saying? But they probably don't want to put the 8 too far out.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
The County Gold finds her spot. Aretha now goes in.
9-2.
All right.
Here comes Miss Langskip.
Yeah, I feel like the board kind of has this one right here.
Yeah.
Miss Langskip will get a little extra help from the race crew.
Last chance for that pick 4 with 85 grand in the pool right now.
Yeah, nice, huh? Neil likes the 3. Good luck. 24 to 1.
Ooh, wow, yeah. Horse should be up front, I would think, with the 3. So see how far he can take him for Neil.
A little bit fractious to County Gold. Miss Langskip is backed away. They'll try again. Miss Langskip now in, just 2 left to load. Diamond Grand, the current 7-5 favorite.
Good luck with all of your bets and plays, everybody.
Good luck, everybody. Yeah.
Got 1 left here.
And just waiting on Tipsy at the bar to the outside. Miss Langskip also a little practice in the gate. The field is set. They're at the post. And they're off. From the middle of the track, Aretha is away well with Miss Langskip to her outside. To the far outside, Tipsy at the bar. Now shows speed in between horses. Aretha on the rail to County Gold. Is going to make it a 3-some early. Miss Langskip going 4 wide in 4th. Then it's Tapture Way and Stan Starlet. They're together. And at the back of the field, Dazzling Gold and Diamond Grand are only 6 lengths off of it. The opening quarter, a quick 22-2. It's Mo Aretha and Tipsy at the bar. They're head and head as they hit the head of the lane, trying to rally into them. That's Miss Langskip on the outside, but it's Tipsy at the bar with the short lead. Mo Aretha battling back Miss Langskip. Coming off the pace today, and Diamond Grand, a late rally coming to the wire. It's going to be Miss Langskip just getting it by a nod. Close for second and third between Mo Aretha and Diamond Grand.
Wow.
That clash drop here.
The horse that was having those fractures in the gate.
Yeah. I guess she was ready to go.
She was ready. She was ready to win.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the one who was a little tough to trust, had some inconsistency, but definitely had races that made sense.
Yeah.
But the horse was, I think, only like 3-1 on the morning line, and went off at a pretty good let's see here. Yeah, 3-1 on the morning line, went off at 14-1.
1% had her. 1% in our stable duel had her.
Wow. So yeah, if you had that one, you're looking pretty good.
You look at exactly.
Yeah, my stable duel with the 1 is not looking great. I had the 8 too, but
the 1 got stonewalled. He's right. The 1 just ran into a wall. Exactly.
Yeah. I felt really good looking at like how quick they were going early for my 1. Figured someone would be coming, but did not think it would be the 6.
I did not bet the race, but if I bet that 7, I would have been very disappointed with that finish. The way he was coming, but the way with those fractions, I thought it was going to set him up for him where he could just go right around them all. You know, the 8 actually did a great job to even stay up there. I thought we were going to lose the 8.
I thought that was going to end up being up the track after setting that quick pace. Uncle Sully saying that El Hombre apparently had the 6 in stable duel. So,
good. Okay.
El Hombre, why aren't you here giving out winners on stream?
Seriously.
Because apparently we can't do it. the 5 and the 6 are the 2 horses that we talked about that were like, yeah, maybe, sure, but
yeah. The Tiffany husband show
others
here. Did Tiffany already win 1? I think she's
yeah, I don't remember.
Let me see here.
She's now 2 for 4, first time with the trainer also. So she knows how to move horses up, it seems like. Did so here with Miss Langskip.
Yeah, Miss
Daughter
Langskip,
of Reload.
Yeah, very nice.
Horse who I loved as a racehorse. I loved Reload.
Oh, yeah. Great. Exactly. The Canadians love Reload.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's got a good career up there as a stallion.
Yep. And nice place payouts again, Keith. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, had the right idea. Wrong horse.
Yeah. I was 3rd and 4th, you know, is trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not winning, but that's what happens. Like if someone is like 47%, you get a 0 and you're just kind of going around, you never know, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. We got a $30 winner here. $18.10 to place, $9 to show on Miss Langskip, $7.20 to place, $3.60 to show on Mo Aretha. Diamond Grand as the favorite pays $2.70 to show. That exacta $113.30. The try $274.05. Super $801.40, and the dollar pick 3. If you had all 3 636, you've got $836.30 back to keep playing with. So looking pretty good.
What is Demario Bino's like win? Like his ROI has got to be like up. He's had so many bombs this meet, you know?
Yeah, he has. I wonder if I can find that out with the things that I have. I wish I had.
Exactly, Tim. Yeah. I mean, he's just his ROI has got to be through the charts.
Right? Actually, my ADW might let me look at that. Let's see here. Maybe it will. Demario Bino. Here we go. Total starts $2 average, $2.02
Okay.
is what we're looking at here, which I would think is pretty good if you bet
That's
all
very
of
good.
his
That's very
starts
good.
and you
Yeah.
end up with a positive ROI. Yeah. Although,
I don't know if it's still true to this day, right? If you took, it was like a year and a half ago when I saw this, if you took every single Jose Lascano mount on the turf ever at Saratoga, your ROI is still $2.30.
oh wow,
That's amazing,
yeah,
like every mount,
mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. I don't know
Crazy.
if it still holds true, but Fibersond at Charlestown used to be like that as well, where you had a positive ROI
Yeah.
if you just bet every Fibersond that raced at the track, which it was a lot of them.
Now it's my boy Juba taking over.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've
Move over,
he's got a
Windsor
while
Castle.
to go to take over from from that Fibersond Windsor Castle upper echelon of
Right.
West
He's
Virginia
moving up,
breds.
though. He's moving up. Exactly.
Love to see it. So we got a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
We already talked about Tamara. How about the other Grade 1 winning 2-year-old this weekend, Prince of Monaco out
Ooh.
west? I feel like there were a
Wow.
lot of differing takes
Yes.
on him after that race, which I thought it was an interesting win. I feel like the winning margin was kind of deceptive,
Yeah.
but I don't know that that's but at the same time, I don't know that's a good thing. Like, I feel like he had a lot left in the tank, but I'm a little worried that he didn't pull away from Miramati when it looked like he should have.
Miramati is a glorified like $50,000 claimer, almost like allowance non-winners of one. That's not a real, you know what I'm saying? That's
exactly.
not one of Baffert's. That's that's like Hot Sean, a couple of years ago, who I loved. But I'm saying, but I'm saying like a good solid for Pegram, a good solid allowance horse who could win some allowance races, but he's not upper echelon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. He's not.
So to me, I was kind of like, okay, who did you just beat? You know what I'm saying? You really didn't beat anybody,
Yeah, exactly. That's right now. I feel like the Wine Steward is kind of the leader of the 2-year-old division, who's out east, but he still has to step up and really face the best of what's out there too. Right. But yeah, no, Prince of Monaco, I thought it was an interesting win, and he's a horse who I still have, I don't have a strong opinion on yet, but he could sway me either way. But it definitely wasn't the way you expected him to get that race won.
Like Norm's horse Rhymes was just much more impressive in the way like he was breaking away,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And that's a real good horse. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where he, as you said, he didn't have to do too much, so I'm not going to totally like chuck him out. You know what I'm saying? Because he did what he had to do. And that's all that Bob cares. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't one of those Tamara, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly. It wasn't one of those like light bulb, oh my gosh, this is a good horse. It was like, well, yeah, he won. He was supposed to win. And he won by a length, maybe, I think, in the end. And it really seemed like not so much that he had trouble going by Miramati as much as he just wasn't interested in going by Miramati, which it kind of looked more like a mental issue than a physical issue, because he had his ears pricked, he was moving easily,
right,
but just really wasn't pulling away the way you kind of would expect that you want to see from him. So he's one I'm going to be really interested in seeing. If anybody can take a horse who's pretty good and make them very good, it's Bob Baffert.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
But he's one. He'll be interesting. He's definitely not. It's not like Tamara, where you have now a very clear division leader of the 2-year-old fillies. I think.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot more wide open on the male side of things.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
But the
absolutely.
Breeders' Cup should be a fun event this year. A lot of really competitive divisions. There's not a whole lot of divisions, I feel like, except for maybe like Filly and Mare Sprint with Echo Zulu is really
Yeah.
like the only like clear leader. This horse, makes sense
Right.
as like a prohibitive Breeders' Cup favorite, provided things continue the way they have been.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, Distaff should be a great race this year. I mean, I feel like the last few years the Distaff has really been like more of a headliner than the Classic. Even just the depth of quality that we've had in that older mare division
Yes.
has been great.
And may I say this just while we have a moment here for these people, do yourselves a favor this weekend, watch the Woodbine Mile, right? And right, for all those people that forget last year, this was the what do you call it? The finish of last year's Woodbine Mile. Modern Games first, Ivar second, Cheryl Spate fourth, and Wakanka seventh, right? But she was taking on the boys. But first, second, Finest Sound, and Cheryl Spate. That's 4 of the top 5 in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
came from that one race. So
Always a key race.
take a little gander at that race because
Yeah, most definitely. And I guess we'll go ahead and take a gander at this 5th race.
Yes, let's do that. Yes.
Who do you got in here? What were you thinking?
5th race. Let's see who I have here. Is that the one that was the perplexing one for me was Kate's Princess here.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as the favorite was, I said worth 8 to 5 question mark. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of obviously that was a very impressive race last time. 70 cents open up early, held well. Ran against Chicago River, who's back in this field, but a 12 to 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting who they beat. I went for an upset here. Again, I'm going to go hopefully that there's some speed up front. I went with Cato's Lady, the 1 here for stable duel at a price with Budho. Because and what I'm looking at is the fact that we're going out to 7 furlongs. This horse, I know he's running against 5,000 and this is 10,000. Okay. This horse seems to love this distance. And I think there's enough speed in here that if a couple stop and fade, he could be the one who could pick up the pieces late, So for stable duel, I thought he was definitely an interesting play. In terms of if you're trying to find a winner, I think Kate's Princess is tough. I don't know if I like her like even money 8 to 5. The one I did like was Witt's 10-10, the 7, was Sven Ballroom. I think this horse is just at this distance is just getting good. And finally they had him on the lead. Sven brought him a little bit back and brought him. I think if he can do that trip again, I think he's going to be real tough. So I like the 7 to win.
Yeah, the 7 was my second choice in here as well, behind Kate's Princess, who looks tough in here. I mean, her on the form, she has 3 races that weren't that good, and 2 of them were against the boys. So there's excuses there for those slightly lesser performances. Yeah. But I mean, the distance is a little bit of a question. She's only raced at the distance once, did get 3rd in that try at the distance. And the fact that there is, as you mentioned, quite a bit of speed in here that looks like it should go with her. And she really kind of seems to be a bit of a need the lead type of horse.
Yeah.
That other race where she ended up 5th was a race where she did not get the lead. So that was there were some question marks there. I did end up going with her in stable duel just to try and hopefully get a winner. But I liked this 7. I thought that the 7 should get a really nice tracking trip here. And I like the horse that the 7 beat last out in Blazing Sky just to the outside. First off the claim for Devin Gittins.
Yeah, Colin really liked him.
Yeah. That was the one that was Colin's final walk-off pick.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I think that horse made a lot of sense. Seems to have kind of found her friends out here at Assiniboia.
Yes,
Came in, was a
absolutely.
really nice horse at Woodbine, put together 3 straight wins on the turf and all weather out there. But now is at Assiniboia and has been kind of just on par with this group of mares. Has kind of
Mhm.
been chasing Witt's 10-10.
Yeah,
So that's my thing here is I'm not sure that the 8 turns the tables on the 7 this time,
yeah,
unless Gittins kind of figures out something to get a little bit more out of this 5-year-old mare.
right. Yeah,
But those my 3 would be Kate's Princess, the 3-7-8. But I mean, you make a good case for the 1 that the step up in class was the concern for me. But
yeah,
I mean, there's no arguing with 4 for 5 in the money at the distance and is certainly in good form. So the
yeah,
step up makes sense. I mean, that win 2 back did come against males for the
yeah,
6250 tag. So there's definitely things to like, and you can certainly like the price there at 10-1 compared to the other 3 that we're
yeah,
looking at are 6-5 and or 9-2. So yeah, I
yeah.
think that
Just from a stable dual point, I thought
yeah,
she was an
exactly.
interesting because all you need is a couple of those speed guys to kind of fade, and maybe you can pick up like third, fourth,
Yeah,
at a
exactly, and
price,
there's a ton of speed in here, I feel like. I mean, the
Yeah,
2 is quick, the 4 is quick. We mentioned Kate's Princess might be a need the
yeah,
lead type of horse, and
yeah,
I mean, I do
yeah,
think probably is the fastest of them,
yeah.
but still, she's not gonna be alone out there on the front end for sure. So it could end up being a really quick pace, and Cato's Lady will be coming. I didn't look at the Timeform US pace figures for this one, which I usually like to look at, see what I would expect that she has probably one of the best late pace figures in the field. And yes, she does have the best late pace figure in the field according to Timeform US.
Who's that now?
So uh, your Cato's Lady.
Yeah, 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 absolutely, yeah. That's why I just thought she had a chance at this distance. If a couple
Yeah,
of speed guys just don't take the trip right.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, back in July, she was 3/4 of a length behind the 7 and the 8. So if and dropped down off of that, but maybe got some confidence back here in these lesser class ranks, and
Yeah.
now coming back up to that $10,000 level here at Assiniboia. So should be
My
a
my
fun
friend
race.
my friend Jeff Brait at Woodbine always says to me, it's a thing he's told me for years. At the end of meets, as Assiniboia starts coming towards the end of their meet, right? He said, and even at Woodbine, like the big boys drop their horses, and he said it's the horses that are in form at the end of meets up in Canada that run. You know what I'm saying? Like just because one horse maybe ran in better, if they're in better form, they can still beat the 10,000. If you know what I'm saying, exactly. So it
Hmm.
really does take place, up in Canada more than any other place.
Yeah, definitely.
Warm sticks.
And as Keith points out, I cannot sing Assiniboia's praises enough for that player
Oh
portal.
my God, it's amazing. They are.
Just every track should do this. If you want people to bet your track, then give them the information they need to bet your track. Make it
Yes,
easy for
yes,
them to
exactly.
find.
Yep, yep.
That's like I started fantasy football this year for the
Yeah,
first time,
yeah. How's that
and it
going?
was so much more intuitive than I thought it
Yeah,
would be. From
yeah,
like the drafting process, I mean, I did like I spent like an hour before, like immediately before the draft, just kind of
yeah.
like browsing and seeing what kind
Numbers.
of
Yep, yep.
like late round picks I should go for, because I figured based on the numbers, the first few rounds would be pretty. I just pick whoever's best. But
Yeah.
to try and find some like breakout players, I just looked at what other people were saying. And I mean, I ended up like my draft pick was like my team was ranked like second overall from the draft, and then I won my first matchup.
That's
So
awesome.
we're off to a good start. But I mean, the ease of getting into it as someone who, I know how football works, but I'm not like
Yeah,
really into football. I don't know the
yeah,
players really. But they made it so simple to just, okay, these are the stats, these are what they mean, go.
yeah,
And you could get started really easily. And I think that horse racing needs to do better about that introductory fan education and being able to have information freely accessible. Like I can go on like the ESPN website or the NFL website and just look at matchups and compare players and compare teams and okay, so
Sure,
so
yeah.
what's the ranking here on like the defense and what's who's doing what against who, how does this player do at home versus away and things like
Right.
that, where
How did this team do? How did this guy do versus this team last year?
yeah,
It's
exactly. And
amazing.
it's all very intuitive. It's all right there and it's accessible and it's free. And that's the biggest thing that I think horse racing, that's one of my biggest pet peeves about the industry, is that you have to decide that you're going to bet. Like if you want to get free PPs, you have to commit to betting before you buy your form. Because most ADWs will give you a refund on your form if you bet. But if you go through and then determine that there's nothing today I really want to play, well then you're out your $3 for your form. Right. And it's just ridiculous and it bothers me. And it's one of my biggest just pet peeves about the industry, because I have so many friends who are into sports betting and stuff who have asked me like, okay, so how do I get started? And it's like, well, I can teach you how to read the form, but I don't know where you're really going to get that if you're not ready to bet yet.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? So it's
no doubt
frustrating when it comes to trying to, spread the love for horse racing. And, I think it's such a great gambling game. But yeah, exactly. As Vince points out here, when someone has $20 to bet and you charge them $5 for the past performances, they'll probably just take their 20 and go do something else.
Yeah.
Like you go to the track and like you're on site. And I mean, if you want the DRF, you're spending like $8 or something for your DRF. And yeah. And I mean, like, especially, people talk about getting younger people in. Well, a lot of the younger people are coming and they're only comfortable losing like $20 or so.
Yeah.
If you're going to the track, especially if you're going to be spending another $20 on food and whatnot.
I used to always joke when I get into Saratoga, like exactly right a couple of years ago, like, how you doing so far? I said, well, I'm down $40 and I haven't even gotten in the door yet.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Like
I parked, I got in, and I got my program. So now I'm down 40. I got to make it back.
Gosh. That's going, especially the last few years that I went to Pimlico, the parking on like even Black Eyed Susan Day, just absolutely atrocious. You're spending like $30 in parking and then you're spending like 20 to get in the door. And it's like, well, there goes my gambling budget.
Yeah.
Like even if you had like, say like $100 budget that you're like, all right, I can do that.
Well, now your budget the Breeders' Cup was $50 a day last year. I'm like, for parking. Yeah. I'm like, good Lord.
Exactly. Like if you don't want it to just be the sport of kings, then you need to make the prices affordable for us paupers out here.
Yeah. Tim's got an 8-4 here. He like an 8-4. Okay.
The 4, Miss Z.
What's everybody got here? Let us know who you got here so we can.
Yeah, let us know.
Acknowledge it when you win.
4 here that Tim likes. I kind of just passed on her immediately because I was like, oh, this is a speed horse. She's not going to get her trip. But I mean, second overall with the prime power, has taken blinkers off. And certainly those first 2 races of the year would absolutely be very competitive here. Right. So we'll
Colin's
see.
Back in the chat with us.
Love to see it. Right, the Wires got the 7 that we both like.
Yep.
Colin, as mentioned earlier, likes Blazing
Get him
Sky.
home, Alex. Get him home. Shot 10, you just play JoJo, the Magic Man, and then he just wins everything. It's great.
I used to play a lot of Australia when I was doing overnight merchandising work.
Yeah.
So like start work at like 9 p.m. So I'd like wake up at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock and print out the form and do that and then have like my notes. So I just like check my phone during work because it was just merchandising. It was mindless arranging things on shelves. And I worked so much faster than everybody else that I could just All right, bathroom break. Let me
Yeah.
let me go watch this race.
Every other race was Chris Waller.
Let's see, there's pros and cons to the international past performances. The lack of, I feel like you don't get running lines is the biggest problem that I have, is you just have like a finish. So I feel like
Right.
pace tends to be harder to gauge in those races, and as someone who relies a lot on pace in my handicapping, that makes it kind of tough.
Right. Hey, by the way,
like
Colin, you had jumped off. I forgot to tell you. I gave you the $50 winner at Saratoga for Mark Hennig. So at least I gave you that one, which was a more important one than Endlessly. He was just 5-2. So
Mark had such a great meet. I'm
Yeah,
so happy
unbelievable.
for
Wasn't
that
it
whole
awesome?
crew.
He and Rosemary are the best.
Absolutely.
Oh, that whole team
They're
is
so
the
good.
best. Love
Mhm.
them. Even the little Bluebird guys did great. They did.
Yeah,
they did.
no,
That second place finish was nice.
kept hitting the board. We hit the board every year at Saratoga, so we're just waiting for that breakthrough win. All right, I forgot to hit the thing here, but Island High is giving me a little
You
extra
got a
time.
practice group tonight. There we
And they're
go.
off. Hopping at the start was Kate's Princess.
Oh man, that's
On
not
the
good.
inside, Island High.
That changes
Showing
the
some good
complexion.
early speed matched in between horses by Miss Z. 3 wide on the outside. That's going to be Chicago River. Coming up the rail, Kate's Princess has recovered and is it back?
Yeah, she
in
is not happy
third.
there.
5th on the outside, Wits 10 Dixie Mo on the rail. And it's going to be Blazing Sky, and Cato's Lady will be the trailer.
That's it.
24-1 the opening quarter. Island High on the rail, and Kate's Princess splits horses and pokes ahead in front. Miss Z is back to third. On the outside in for Chicago River. On the inside, Dixie Mo. Blazing Sky starting to make a move with Wits 10 and Cato's Lady still the trailer. The half a very quick 47-1, and Kate's Princess spins out of the turn with the lead by 4. Miss Z back to second. Dixie Mo with a late run
Hanging on that
here.
lead.
Kate's Princess, a 16th of a mile to go, tiring with Dixie Mo coming, but gonna run out of ground.
45-1
It's
shot.
Kate's Princess taking it.
Wow.
Dixie Mo.
Dixie
second
Mo.
best. Third's gonna go to Miss Z.
Kate's
and
Princess got
fourth,
lucky there,
Cato's Lady.
because that's 6. Wow.
Yeah.
Where did that race come from? Where did
Seriously.
that race come from? Now I've got to look at this horse again.
Yeah, seriously. That
I've
was
just been
low.
getting beat by everybody in here.
Dixie Mo. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough horse to have, I feel like.
Yeah, 2 for 7 at the distance. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's another one that just all of a sudden just turned it, but yeah. I guess you checked the last time. Yeah. Yeah.
The angle there is back class, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
last year had races that fit,
Yeah.
but was a front runner back then.
Yeah, and if you throw out the last one where she was checked, she actually hasn't won that fourth, first, second, first. So she's never out of it,
Yeah. But still had been getting beat, at least a length and a quarter, but more generally 5 lengths or so by a lot of the other ones in here.
Made that one look like a gift.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting worried there. She was tired late.
Yeah.
Did not change leads late from what I saw, and really got lucky that she didn't get caught. That the start for her certainly didn't help, but I guess she proved that she doesn't necessarily need the lead in order to win here.
No. I thought when she blew the start, she was in trouble. But
I thought it was over.
And then she
She was
split. I
just
thought it
better.
was too soon. The
Yeah.
Foghorn Pick 4 is still alive. There you go.
Yes, love to see it. Keep it rolling.
Dennis Trusty has joined us.
Oh, we
The
got
man-
Trusty in here.
The man, the myth,
How
the
could you
legend.
forget about us? How could you forget about us, Dennis?
Dennis is playing 26 tracks at once, so he gets a
Right.
little
Yeah.
bit.
No, we can forgive him, I guess.
Yeah, he's already in Australia B and C, so exactly. Exactly. Zero stables have the 6.
Wow. I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes of the MTV Music Awards. Are those even a thing anymore? I didn't even realize that MTV still did music.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't even know what kind of music would be on MTV. I'm sure I would feel just as out of touch as you, though. So, yeah, we can be old together.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen.
The disappointing
Here's
thing
the,
here was the 7 and the 8. Neither of them really ran a whole lot at all.
The 7 ran
Your one did
terrible race.
pick up some points there in 4th.
Yeah, one did okay. That's I just use it just for value,
Yeah,
kinda.
absolutely, and it's gonna pick you up some points.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Kate's Princess 340, 250, 220. Dixie Mo paid $21.10 to place, $9.70 to show. Miss Z $3.10 to show. That exacta was $29.35. Try 147.05. Superfecta 443.70, and the dollar pick 3 was $338.50. All right. Lots of really nice underneath prices.
Yeah, 2110 and 970. My God, hello.
And that's not the first horse who's paid like $9 to show tonight.
And that's with a 3 to 5 on top. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You get that at Saratoga, you're like, oh, why do they only get 650?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
3 to 5 on top.
You're like, I got a 45-1 shot who ran second across the board, and you're like, oh, I made $10 for place and show.
I love the guys. I love the guys that like at Saratoga. There was one. I felt so bad for him. He was so excited. He bet a $5 exacta. It was 3-1, right? The 3 was 1 to 9, and like the 5 was like 45. The 1 was 40 to 1, right? And he's like, oh my God, I got the exacta 2.5 times. And I'm like, I didn't mean to, I just couldn't like come to tell him that it was like $10, like for 2.
Right.
Because the 1 to 9's on top, bud. Is that you can't do that when the 1 to 9 wins. Exactly.
Yeah. Doesn't help. But here.
Yeah. Oh my God, you can do it. Absolutely.
Right. Even with your, odds on favorites.
Oh yeah.
Getting the job done. You get the right horse underneath. There's
BBE won and the horse is 6 pays $780 to show despite BBE being in the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if you missed the board. Oh my God.
Right, exactly.
That would be huge.
So that's the place and show pools at Assiniboia are something I really want to start following more.
Tim Hughes is a master of that. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just have to start asking Tim every race. All right, who's the place bet in here?
Yeah. I'm a big, as you know me, I'm a big win, place, and show better. So I always follow that myself, and you can.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. That's kind of my go-to bet is just across the board on a horse at a fair price.
Fair price. Yeah.
So this next race,
looks
ridiculous. I ended up using a horse in stable duel here that was free. So that's my my hot take here is that I think Fine Soft Morning could pick up 3rd or 4th in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is coming out of a race behind a pretty good race behind Sugar Daddy Jack, which was really my whole angle on this horse was that last race was pretty dang good. And if you throw out the race 2 back going 7 furlongs, which might have just been too far. Now we're getting back to the distance that the horse broke his maiden at 5.5 furlongs. Was beaten 5 1/4 by Sugar Daddy Jack, but Sugar Daddy Jack just won a stake. So, for a $5,000 claimer, I thought that horse was interesting in here and worth not having to spend any money on. And again, with the new stable duel rules, this is the kind of horse who you can take a chance with and hope to hit big, and you don't have to worry about it backfiring so much. But my top pick in here ended up being the one Properly Connected. Felt like the horse should get a good trip, pretty much, if not on the lead, then close to the lead. And was taking that drop-in class, but a drop-in class that seems due for this colt by Connect. And then the 8 Hasta La Vista Honey was my second pick in here. I was wondering a little bit about the distance here for this horse. Had only one start at the distance, and her speed figure in that race was not great compared to what she's running now. So I was wondering if maybe this is a horse, one of those speed horses who appreciates being the slower pace that she can get in a 7 furlong race where she can go 24:48, as opposed to she's probably gonna have to go quicker in here, especially with horses like Properly Connected and Call the Cops, who are both pretty quick in here. And then the horse that just baffled me, that I really wanted to like, and then I kind of talked myself off, was the 5 Prairie Drifter. Who, that last race, too far, going a mile, cuts back now. That route to sprint angle is 25% for Devin Gittins. I felt like the interesting thing was that this horse's best races really might have been last year when she was getting the lead. And that this is also going to be the first time. So this horse, the thought process here was this horse thrived as a 2-year-old going 5 furlongs, was beaten half a length in her second start by Mechanic Susie, who we know is a very good horse, and actually won the Buffalo Stakes by 7 3/4 last year. So it seems like, they gave her one off the layoff in a stake going 5 furlongs, was too sharp of a pace early, but then they were thinking, okay, well, let's stretch her out because that's where the big stakes win came, and just was not finding any success. So now we're kind of going back to the drawing board, dropping in for a tag, cutting back. And I feel like that could be the recipe for success with Prairie Drifter. The big thing was, I don't know, two back, he had a nice rally, but isn't a horse who is consistently passing horses, which I feel like he's going to have to do in here. So that was the horse that I want to like. I have like a gut feeling about liking this horse, but keep talking myself off of him. So, I mean, if I honestly, you know what, I might have to go with that horse as my top pick, but I've talked enough. What do you think about this one?
No, and he and Bell have done 20% together after 25 mounts. So, I mean, they've had success with each other,
it just seems like they're trying to figure things out.
Just a little story of Devin Gibbons. He's actually going to be on the show up. They do a show from Barbados every week up at Woodbine, and Devin's going to be the guest tomorrow night on the show with Leroy, who's Patrick Husband's agent, and Sean Hall. He's under 30 years old. And,
wow!
Isn't it amazing? He's one of the awesome. He's like 20 something, and for what he's doing at a young age for a trainer is just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
he's a very talented kid, and should make his way eventually over to Woodbine itself. But what he's doing as a young trainer is remarkable.
Doing it with the kind of horses you have to really take care of.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheaper types.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll only get better. This race, when I was going through it, made me go crazy. I was looking like Livery Man. I had him at 7-1. I had him at 3-1, which means now he's 15-1, which means we know Bino loves bringing those bombs. He'll probably just pop them all now, and then I'll be like, okay, dumb me. But Call the Cops I looked into. I went with, not because it's Whitehall, I went with a consistency angle. I just think this 8 is just consistent. Doesn't win
definitely.
a lot, but does and Antonio is so good around those 2 turns. He will keep this horse in play. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he'll win, but he'll keep this horse in play, which a stable duel is all you really want. You know, is to keep him in play. The interesting horses in this race. The one was a very interesting one. I wonder if Boudreaux, I don't know Assiniboia enough, works for Gano, because he's ridden him 53 times and he's not having a great meet. You know, I mean, not a terrible meet. He's 12%, which is not bad. But I'm just saying, but you know, he rides them a lot, and they're only 9% together. So I wonder if there's like kind of like a Rudy Rodriguez, Dicky Dutcho kind of like relationship there, you know. But in this race, just I would almost press the all button in this race. You know.
I wouldn't blame you.
I mean, rocking at the party, even a 10-1. I mean, to face much better. I mean, Arrogance or One Sky would be like favorites in this race. You know, so it's just an interesting. I found this race interesting. You know.
Yeah, no, I could go through and really I could make a case of varying strength for pretty much anybody in here.
Yeah, I can't throw anybody, like including your 40-1. I can't throw that horse completely out. You know
I mean, I think I mean, why is that horse 40-1 on the morning line and Liveryman's 15-1?
Yeah, right.
He beat him by 2 lengths last time.
Right, exactly, right.
So I mean, there's that one bad race to look back to, but
Keith, Point Given. One of the pure fastest horses you will ever see. That horse was just put him on the front and just
raw talent.
I think he's the last Hawthorne Derby winner to win the Derby, I think.
That would make sense.
Yeah, exactly. But such a fast horse.
Yeah, his career was a little bit before my time.
Yeah,
but
right.
I've certainly watched some replays.
Yeah, he was fast. He was just fast.
Was he at Old Friends or the Kentucky Horse Park?
He was at Old Friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I got to get out to Old Friends.
25 years old. Yeah.
Every time a horse I like goes to Old Friends, I'm like, next year I'm going to see them. And then horse passes away. So I really need to go to Old Friends. While I
sent a message to my boy Rocketry. I said, dude, you're only 8. You're only 8. Give me, you got to give me at least 10 more. I'm going to get down and see you soon. Just hang in with me, bro. Just hang in with me. I'll see you again. You know,
right? I'm going to go out there and
the
see
youngest
Amazon.
The youngest one in there. Come on.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, like they have Amazombi as a horse that I'm really want to go out there and see. Because he was one of my first like big bets that I hit on the sprint. Rated R Superstar and Welder.
There? Oh my God! There you go.
Rated R Superstars there. Nah, we got to do like a Trust the Prophets Old Friends visit.
That would be awesome. That would be Malathot.
Malathot.
That would be fantastic.
Right?
That would be fantastic.
That's got my fiance. We've talked about doing like a little trip to Kentucky at some point, and I could see him being interested in doing something like Old Friends, because he doesn't know who these horses are, but who doesn't like going and seeing a bunch of cool horses? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I've got like a childhood friend who's got a couple of younger kids now who I'm like, we used to do the Kentucky Horse Park together. We've got to do that with your kids now sometime.
Right. Shockingly needs the 6 and the 9 for the leg 3.
Shotty, if you get this 9 home, y'all are gonna be ready for some big money in that last race.
There you go, Dave Chappelle. There you go.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
The traffic's not moving. Well, we'll keep you occupied, but
right. Yeah, no, just chill. Wait till after the last race and wait for the traffic to clear out. That's the problem with those big events. Yeah, just the traffic is just a nightmare as someone who doesn't like sitting still.
I love Welder. What an honest horse that, you know.
Such a cool horse. He's the kind of horse that we gotta, the sport needs to celebrate more.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I would love to see some sort of like financial incentive for horses like that. Besides, you know, okay, yeah, no, he's winning, he's just winning races, so he makes money. But you know, if you have like the horse who, I don't know, you don't want to like encourage people to run horses that, you know, shouldn't be running, but also like let's incentivize running horses.
I agree. I agree. Let's do like Japan, and we can do both. You know, I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we can win and breed.
Exactly. Like we could. Yeah, there's a lot of things we could be doing that we aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
So who does everybody got here? Bobby's got an exacta going 285 over 8514. 285.
By the way, I give Tim major kudos. He's up on a school night. I think this is very impressive. Oh, that's right. They're an hour behind, but it's still 9:46. That's late for a school night. So kudos, my man. Kudos to you.
Yeah, no, I always stay up late for Assiniboia. I'm like, it's past my bedtime.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For you, it's amazing. Exactly.
Right. No, I'm like an old lady. I'm like a 9 p.m. Bedtime type of person. Normally, it's either 9 p.m. or like 2 a.m. There's rarely an in between. It's either like, all right, well, I'm tired. It's bedtime, or it's like I'm doing something.
Yeah,
and I lose track of time. Then I'm like, oh my God, why am I still awake? I need to go to bed. What am I doing? Which will certainly be happening more once I get this new hard drive in my computer and get started on Baldur's Gate 3, which is the new hot game that everyone's talking about. That is a bunch of fun. So that'll lead to some late nights, I'm sure.
The Gordon Food Services race coming up here, folks.
Good for Gordon Food Services. Have we talked about? I feel like Alombre was saying at some point that we were kind of talking about trying to get like a Trust the Profits race, or maybe Colin was mentioning it.
We were exactly. Yeah, that would be awesome. Exactly. We're still looking at that. Exactly.
I guess we're getting to sleepy time pick.
We are
territory, so I figured I'd throw up the post parade here in case anyone looks particularly sleepy.
Yeah, exactly. Colin's still following along, so maybe he'll give us one. You know, this kid Abley, by the way, he's one heck of a rider. I like this kid.
Yeah.
He's winning everything a Century Mile too.
Oh, really?
He's like the Sophie Vives of Western Canada.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. So the 6 is one of the horses that that Shoddy's, the Foghorn pick 3 could use, and I don't think we talked about that one much, because that one, I mean, is like we talked about, like every horse in here you can make a case for. Yeah. And I mean, the 6 is dropping, has speed, has races to go back to, which seems to be kind of an angle tonight. Yeah. I don't know that you could really say like, oh, well, this is a trend tonight, but like logically, it doesn't seem like they make a whole lot of sense. But also, like it's been an angle tonight. Horses who have back class to go back to have been doing well.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, he's finding his form again. Exactly. So
we'll see. Trying to get back to a good level there. And oh man, Tim, I would love to go to Keeneland on October 7th, but I'm going to actually be in Maryland at a wedding on October 7th. So
there you go.
Maybe another time. Well, we got to do some a Keeneland meetup, maybe like the spring. And Malazat asking about the Iroquois. I have not seen probables for that race yet, but I could try and figure out who I like in that race.
I haven't really seen that yet. Yeah. Seize the Gray though. Good luck, my friend.
Seize the Gray is nice though. That's Lucas.
Yeah.
I might be mixing him up with another horse.
Yeah, who am I
I'm not
thinking of
sure if
here?
I am thinking of the right horse or not. Let's see. See, it's the gray.
Bobby likes the
If
daily
my-
double
if my
2-8
instinct
with
was
9-2. Okay.
All right. The 9 and the 2 in the next one. All right. All right. Yeah, no, I like that. Both of those in the next one. Okay, I am right. Okay, yeah, D. Wayne Lucas. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember this horse because, yeah, I remember his maiden win. Yeah, and from that shopping family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, a very nice horse. Let's see, 14 hours ago. Full field analysis. Take a
Yeah.
quick little look here as we head to the track.
A Churchill legend,
Gray
by
with
the way,
Escape
Tim Hughes
is
would be.
favored. Oh, that was, he won that big.
Which one did he win the big what?
Risk It. He won at Saratoga. He won just off big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big.
Oh, yes,
I remember
absolutely,
him.
yes.
The gun runner colt that people were buzzing about after his victory.
The big
I feel
story this weekend is,
I mean,
was
15
it
to 1.
Yeah, Bango is going for like a record. And like Bango is like the Churchill Downs like winning horse.
Oh
going for another
yeah,
win
is
this
he?
weekend.
He's going
Yeah.
for. He's. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be exciting. See, that's another horse, just kind of like Welder. Those horses who just run in races and win races, and you'll love to see them. I love those hard knocking type of horses. Actually, I didn't realize, just looking him up here, that he's actually a horse. He is a full stallion and not a gelding.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. He's the kind of horse, you'd love to see him get a shot as like a regional stallion somewhere, maybe up in Canada or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
A horse like that. 13 for 32 lifetime. Son of Congrats. Like, absolutely the kind of horse that I think deserves a chance. It could give you a nice hard knocking type of horse. Probably, not going to be a horse you would breed to if you're trying to get a grade 1 winner. But if you're trying to breed a horse and get horses that win, and I mean, I love that female family on Bango, going back to Up the Flagpole. That's La Troyenne. That's family 1X, and he's line bred to that because his dam is also, or his sire, Congrats, is also family 1X. So another example of many, many, many examples of line breeding to that prolific female family, resulting in a really nice horse.
Just remember, breeders out there, it's all about hard spun and smart strike. If you just cross them right now, that's the way to do it right now. Hard spun and smart strike.
Well, Bango gives you smart strike on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he'd be a horse I'd love to see get a little shot as a stallion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, hard spun, he's great. You can't go wrong with hard spun. Let's see here. Go ahead before I forget, as I'm glancing through this Iroquois field. Doing a little bit of multitasking. Tim mentioning that he loves the 8 in the next race as a double play if you like anybody here. So
next up, rocking at the party.
Rocking at the party.
Let's see, who was the 8? Gentrified.
Henry's in control. Walks up and in.
All right.
Livery man will be next.
So everybody, let us know who you like here.
Here comes Prairie Drifter.
And we'll see how things go. If this 7 could do something, we could have a good night.
Yeah.
I don't think my stable has any chance, but Wow, yeah.
Fine
I mean, the
soft
one makes a lot of
morning's
sense in
turn.
here. The one
yeah.
was like my logical top pick.
Yeah. Barry
Just
C.
two left
How
to
are you?
load.
4-5-4-8 double.
All right, yeah, no, this 5.
Hasta la vista,
I
honey.
just have a good feeling about the 5 here, that they're
like
kind of
it.
pulling out all
Okay.
the stops
And
to
just
wake this
waiting on
horse up.
Moses on Main to the
I like it.
We
outside.
could go 5-7. That would be cool. 5-7-1-8. Barry is Jimson Weed Stables in Stable Duel.
Yeah. Hey,
Alrighty.
Barry. Yeah.
Thanks
yeah.
for
Barry-
thanks for
Field
checking
Barry's
in.
great.
Thanks.
post. And they're off. From the inside, properly connected. Away well with Rockin' at the Party. To the outside. 3 wide, putting on some early pressure. That's going to be Livery Man. 2 lengths back in 4th. Call the Cops in a stalking position today with Hasta la Vista Honey to his outside. Settled in on the rail, Prairie Drifter. Another 2 lengths back to Fine Soft Morning. 3 more to Henry's in Control. And your early trailer will be Moses on Main. 22 seconds, a quick opening quarter. And it's Livery Man now taking over the lead by a half length, properly connected. On the inside, in second, trying to battle back. 3 wide, that's Call the Cops. Eating up some ground. And to the far outside, Henry's in control.
Look at this 9 home.
Is
for
absolutely
Yeah.
flying. Henry's in control.
Dang. You know, I mean, it was
close
way
at
too
the
late,
wire
but-
between that and properly connected. Third's going to be Livery Man.
What did I say about Livery Man? That tonight was going to be the night he tried to win. Exactly.
Right.
After
Yeah, the
2,
3. Henry's in
horrible-
control.
Henry's in control. Ably.
It was either him or the 1.
Riding unbelievable.
Yeah, and this horse took a lot of late money.
He did,
I think
yeah.
I didn't notice him taking money
Yeah,
earlier.
Tim
'cause it
had
was
him in the
big
stable
long
duel.
shot.
Tim
Well
had him in the
done, Tim.
stable duel.
Yeah.
Well done, Tim.
The stewards have requested a
No,
photograph.
it just
to determine the
missed.
winning
Not see that
horse.
one.
They went the opening quarter, 22 seconds. 45
It
and
could be the
4.
1.
5 furlongs, 59
Might
and
be.
1. Time for the 5.
Yeah, that was close.
Was that the 1 on the inside?
That was the 1 on the inside. So we got to root for the 1 for the Foghorns
Shoddy.
pick 4.
Yeah. I think the 1 may have just stayed. I thought Tim's 3 was getting up, but the mayor of San Juan is in the house. Hello, Mayor.
Hello, Mayor. Thank you for checking in here and
Yeah.
hanging out with us at Assiniboia Downs. Yeah, this 3, I did not have this horse anywhere, honestly. I mean, the angle there that I, looking was the 28% first with the trainer, but
Yeah.
it's definitely feels like a horse made a step up to
Yeah.
pull that effort out.
Yeah, absolutely. Wendy,
Let's
yeah.
see. It is quite still looking at the photo here.
And Ably's having quite
Yeah.
the night. If you just used Ably tonight, you're doing pretty darn well.
Right. Let's see.
Oh, the
So it
3.
was
Oh.
the 3.
Tim's 3 gets up.
Rest in peace to Shoddy's pick 4, but 9-2. That's short on this horse. That's wow.
Yeah.
They knew. That's a they knew.
That's what they knew.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
I'm just totally missing something, but
Yeah,
this horse does not look
see
like
him,
a.
Can I see him played in stable duel like Tim did? Yes, but 9-2, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. That horse is not 9-2.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, sure. If you're spending $250 for a 20-1 shot in stable
Yeah.
duel, who can hit the board? Yeah,
I can even
yeah,
see
sure.
8,
I mean, the
9,
horse has been
8,
running
9 to
fourth,
1.
fifth, third.
8, 9 to 1. I gotcha. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
not
definitely.
9-2. No.
But
No.
yeah. Like under 5-1. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He could beat me 8 times.
Yeah, Tim said he
I'd
bet
not
him at
bet
8-1, and
9-2.
that seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's 8-1. Yeah, that makes a little more sense.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but 9-2, nope.
But yeah,
Not
9-2.
touching
Ooh, that's a they knew. Only 15% of staples had them though, so
Yeah.
big help there for
Timmy. Yeah.
Tim. Yeah,
I'm dead.
my stable duel is definitely just
Toast.
floundering.
I just
Absolutely toast.
tonight honestly was one of those nights where I'm like, I'm playing just to play. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
had no
I
feel,
almost didn't play.
no feel whatsoever tonight. Like some nights you go in feeling like I'm gonna be good. Tonight
Hmm.
I just did bombs and I just tried to just just exactly. I had no feel for this.
Yeah, no.
Yep. And give
And
Assiniboia, he did a great job, you know?
but that's all right.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
this was
they've done
a
a great
charting
card
horse
tonight.
value spot
Yeah.
play.
Oh, nice job.
That's Jeff, right?
Yeah,
Charting
yeah,
horse value.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's got some good stuff. And another
He
part of that
does. Yeah,
Assiniboia Down players portal.
he does.
So that ended
Yeah.
up being an $11.40 winner, $5.80 to place, $3.80 to show, properly connected, $422.70. Decent little show price there for $6.70 on Livery Man. That exacta was $28.25. Trifecta $263.95. Superfecta got you $1,028.40. There's
Yeah.
a carryover for the high five, and then that dollar pick 3 paid $222.
Yep.
Call the cops. Slowed down like you saw a state trooper.
He did. He did, Shotty. Exactly.
Yeah, he slammed on the brakes. Unfortunate.
Dan
That might
is
be
just
coming in a
piling
minute.
on poor Colin here.
Wow, Dan. No
Wow.
mercy.
Dan. No. Wow.
That's all right. I'm pretty sure my value play here finished last. Or look, he might have passed one horse late. Oh, he might have passed two horses late.
My eight, who's been so consistent, was so inconsistent tonight.
Yeah, that was very
As soon as
disappointing effort
Antonio took
there.
him off the pace, I said, "Okay, we're not
Yeah,
even
what are
winning
we
tonight.
even doing?
We're done. Yeah, this horse has no interest in winning tonight."
Yeah. And Carlos here, call the cops. I've just been robbed. Right.
I hear you, Carlos.
Yeah. Moving on. Got one more race tonight. And 2 opens up as a very heavy favorite, and I'm sure it will even out pretty quickly as the
Oh yeah, yeah.
pool fills in there. But first look 4 to 5 on the 2 Old Trafford, who certainly makes sense as one of the go-to horses in here, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. I use them in stable duel.
Fair, yeah. No, I considered him, and then I ended up on the 9 and the 10 in stable duel. The 9 was my top pick out on Saturday, so I'm hoping for a Saturday exacta. Not that I'm in like way too far back to I could get the exacta and still wouldn't.
Yeah.
It still
me
wouldn't make a
neither.
difference
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought out on Saturday with the primary speed in here made a lot of sense. And that the 10 Saturday service was kind of interesting. Coming out, although part of my interest in that horse was that he was coming out of a race behind Wits 10 and Blazing Sky, who didn't really perform to expectations, to my expectations, at least earlier
And
in the card.
here's Voodoo again. That's why I'm wondering if this guy like works for him or something. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
He keeps putting Budo on his horses and they're not running. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering if it's kind of like am I giving him a workout or what am I doing? You know?
Yeah, or if there's some sort of like a family
When I
connection.
see him on there, I'm
something.
like, okay, does he really think this horse is going to win?
Right. Oh, is my whole thing out or just my video?
Let's see. I can hear you.
Okay. As long as you can hear me, it just looks like
Yeah.
my video might have frozen on my screen.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I like the 9 on top in here, Carlos.
Yeah.
Out on Saturday. I like 9 to 10.
Yeah. You and I are on the same 9-2. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That just seems pretty straightforward in here. Although there are plenty of potential value horses I think that make sense in here.
Yeah.
Dan said he's crying.
Yeah,
with Colin.
I hear you, Dan.
We're
we give Colin more crap than anybody, Dan. Don't worry about it. Exactly. Is it you can just pile on. You can be that extra running back that just gets the 15-yard penalty for the late hit. You know, absolutely. It's all good. We already have 6 people on them. But Tim is asking, how is this 2 even money? I can see it only for the fact that this horse, if Mark Ewell was in this race, I think he'd be like 1-9. You know,
I mean, yeah.
Rail Splitter, Smart Call, who just won his last race. You know, I think that's just, I think that's, to me, I don't think it'll go off at even money, Tim, but I can see it. I mean, Tap Horn is 39 starts, 13 wins, 8 seconds, and 3/3. So that's 24 out of 39 in the money. And this guy seems to put his horses in the right spots. So,
Yeah, I mean, favorite makes sense. I do think that even money definitely feels a little.
No. But I can at least see where he'd be the favorite, like 5-2, 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, even money, no way. No.
Yeah.
But I can see where people are, and the trainer's so damn hot. You know what I'm saying? That you know, everything he's placed seems to run well. So.
Well, looks like got the camera back, but the background blur isn't working right now. So you can look at my disaster of a couch and my disaster of a dog sleeping on it.
It's your dog. Come on now. Exactly.
But yeah,
really slow is racing again. I know.
Oh, right.
Who's my favorite horse out in California? Low Expectations. Who named that horse Low Expectations? You know?
They're hoping you can exceed them.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't so far. Exactly.
Right. That's just like really slow. Why would you curse this horse with that?
Okay, although, I mean, gotta find out the sleepy pick.
Yeah, to be fair, really slow has won $91,000 in his career. So and he's only 5, which for these Assiniboia horses, he's still got some years in him, probably.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But, and again, to everybody joining tonight, thank you so much. So appreciate it.
Yes, it's so great to hang out with all of y'all here and chat with everybody in the chat. And
subscribe, like. So appreciate all of your support and everything for all our programming and everything. It's a huge help. Yeah,
definitely. We're very, very thankful for each and every one of you who take the time to hang out and engage with what we're doing here. Trying to do what we can to spread the love here of horse racing and bring a spotlight to Assiniboia Downs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah. So Kirk is 9.45 and Stretch is 2.94. So we want Stretch. Go Stretch, go.
I guess let's take a look at the 4 and the 5 since I mean they both like the 4 who's at 5-1 right now, and I mean the horse makes sense. Mike Taphorn 24% off the claim.
Mm-hmm.
This was a race where it was a case of there were a lot of horses here who made sense.
Yeah.
And it just came down to who do you like more?
Yeah.
This is a race a lot like the last one, I think, where you could end up getting some kind of bomb or, a horse who makes sense on paper, but just wasn't the horse that seemed like the most logical one getting the job done. Got $3,000 in that super high 5 pool.
Yeah. This is the one thing too. Tim brings up an interesting point that I find in these low claiming races. In most spots, he's definitely right. The 8 beat the 9 for fun last time, but it's amazing how from one race to another they can go just different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like exactly like maybe he just had a bad night, or then the next time he flips it, and then the next time, they're reverse order.
Yeah, the 9 has the steadily increasing speed figures in his favor, but
Yeah.
the 8 has the fact that it could improve second time Assiniboia Downs
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
in his favor. So that's,
And loves the distance. Loves the
yeah,
distance. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, 7 wins at the distance.
Yeah.
Over 50% of his 30 starts in the money,
Oh, absolutely.
going
Yeah.
7.5.
But that's a very solid pick by Tim.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and getting a really fair price there too, at 8-1.
Classic Hi-Fi is 3,240.
Yeah, and Tim makes a good point that extra half a furlong might be in the
Yeah.
8's favor
Yep.
over the
Yep.
9's, because the 9's
Yep.
going to be, probably closer to the front, going to have to exert a little more early compared
Yeah.
to the 8, who has, isn't a from the clouds closer, but
Yeah.
a little more of a mid-pack type. And there is plenty of speed in here. The 7 should be close. The 4 should be close, I would think. The 2 has some tactical speed, and even the 1
Yeah.
isn't usually that far off.
Yeah.
Dennis
Yeah.
really likes the 6. Dennis likes really slow 6 and the 10.
6 and 10. Okay. Baudry. Yeah.
Yeah, and those last 2 races
Yeah.
in particular,
Jeez, man. Yeah. Yeah.
it's been, it was well beaten by the 9 last out. But if you can go back to that race 2 back where he beat the 9 and was just beaten ahead by the 8,
Yeah.
that absolutely makes sense. And apparently is favored in the show pool.
Yeah.
Which is a fun little thing. There's enough people seeing 25-1 in the win pool going,
Yeah.
this horse could hit the board, and then not actually getting that kind of money in the show pool, apparently. That's an interesting little quirk of Assiniboia. I definitely want to start paying attention to that more. Maybe I'll start putting that up. Once I get 2 monitors, I
Yeah.
can have those pools up and kind of pay attention to both at the same time while we're doing these
Yeah.
these shows.
Bobby,
I thought
Bobby D likes the exact 9-2 with 8-1-5. Well, we're hoping you win, Bobby.
Yeah, no, a
Yeah.
9-2 on top is good. The 1 I think makes some good sense in here, especially for underneath, and especially at 17-1. And I think 20-1 morning line is what that said there. So not exactly, kind of about what was expected, but I think this horse makes sense with the drop. Needs to drop and needs to, improve with the drop, but that horse is interesting. Only has 2 tries over the dirt here at Assiniboia. Had been on the turf beforehand, and the distance isn't going to be an issue here with this horse. If nothing else, that 7.5 should be all right.
Stretch has 10 to win and 20 to place in the 2. Only in Canada do you get a bet like that. I love that.
Right.
And it works,
We got opinions all over the place here.
Yeah.
Mayor's got $75 on the 4 to win.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
5 to
another
1.
one who likes the distance.
Yeah.
50% in the money at the distance.
Absolutely.
That's that Mike Taphorn, 24% first off the claim. So this horse makes some sense for sure.
Absolutely.
You're getting a little bit better than your morning line odds right now with 9-2 instead of that 5-2 morning line. Let's see if anybody looks sleepy.
A Cantheros, baby.
Right? Don't see those up north too often. That Florida bred stallion.
Never tried the turf either. Interesting.
We need a sleepy time pick from Colin, because I feel like you and I, Sean, we just don't have the sleepy time touch.
The touch, exactly. Yeah.
We don't have the eye for it. It takes a really developed eye hair. Tim with some good advice here, that you pointing out that the 2 might be the favorite, but he's 3rd in the place pool. So if you're betting him to win, you should definitely throw a place bet on there as well, because you're probably going to get better odds essentially there in that place pool. Yeah, I'm with you, Dennis, on this 10. I think this horse makes some sense. And, stepped up in speed figures off of that win 2 back. So I'm a little less excited about the 10 than I would have been if Wits 10 and Blazing Sky had come back a little better earlier in the night. But certainly a horse who I think makes sense in here would definitely not shock me. That's my third pick in here, I would say.
Yeah, the 4 is the low in the pick 5 pool, which I find interesting.
Yeah. Especially at 5-1 now.
Yeah.
This is the kind of track where, like, if you're betting what other people are betting, like if you want to just look at pools, this would be a track to do that at, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where you don't even necessarily have to be looking at the form. You can just say, all right, well, this horse is favored everywhere except the win pool. Well, I'll bet him to win. Yeah, Keith also pointing out that 1 kind of makes sense as a horse underneath, which, yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting a little bit of a layoff, got a good workout coming in. And like I said earlier, is dropping here. So horse who the drop makes sense, but the drop makes sense. So could see a little bit better here from him. Loved the warm up. You just saw a little bit shot there on that 8, who that was who Tim liked in here. So looks like Gentrified is not sleepy out there.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about almost every horse in this race. This is wide open.
7 did look a little sleepy.
Yeah, we'll throw. We can throw a sleepy time on the 7.
Yeah, he did look a little. He did not look like a little. Those prices have been coming in behind though.
The best part, the 7 is out of quiet time.
I know. There you go.
That's why
he has to be the sleepy horse. Exactly.
It's out of quiet time.
Any horse out of quiet time has to be.
Right.
Dan's got the Exacta box 9-4. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it'll pay. Like, I think anything here is probably going to pay all right.
Oh, yeah.
This 2 is really, like the horse makes sense as the top pick. I guess 2-1 is fair, but it still feels a little short. Yeah. I would want like 3-1 on the horse. Certainly like under 2-1. I don't know. He's not that much better than anybody else in here. This is a wide open race.
Yeah. I think the field that the 2 ran against last time was much better than probably anybody in this field has run against. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean it's going to win. Just the field that he ran against was so much better than anybody in this group that ran against,
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. There are a lot of horses in here who do not have a whole lot of Assiniboia experience.
Yeah.
Which is kind of uncommon in a lot of these cheaper races. I feel like you find the horses in these spots who are just the old regulars at Assiniboia. But 4 of these 10 horses are making only their second or third start at the track.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting here. Room for improvement, room to kind of compare how they're going to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mayer's got the 2 and the 4 here.
Oh, good luck, Mayer.
So there's a lot of love for the 4 going on in the chat.
He's the low in the pick 5,
Yeah, and I mean 5-1 on the board. That's
absolutely.
Why not?
You can't beat that.
Right. And this there's some real interesting prices in here. Like I like that 17-1 on the 1. I think that's pretty fair. I mean, there's so many horses. You could literally just make a case for every horse in this race.
Seriously, yeah.
Level,
that's why I say at this level, anybody can beat anybody. It really is,
Yeah, absolutely.
If you got a $40,000 claiming horse and some horse is beating another horse 2 times, I'm taking that as the other horse is better than the other horse. That
Mhm.
$4,000 claim is anybody can beat anybody on any night. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's real swingy. They can kind of
Oh
be
yeah.
form can
One
go
week they
up and
don't feel like
down.
running. The next week they show up, and then Zach and run a huge one. You know?
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot. I think 7-2 on this 9 is fair. Like I think this horse, you know, like I said, it's my top pick in here, and I think especially with that 8-5 on the 2 being just way too short in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like that 7-2. Tim's got 8 over the 4-9 and is fading that 2 horse.
Terrence
We're
Seiko.
saying might be a little bit over bet. Which yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last chance of the night to get out, guys.
Yeah.
At least at Assiniboia.
Yeah, Bobby, we are still on. So for the cocktail lounge, they don't start until 8:30, bud. So we will be on at 6 to 8. So you will not miss any of the football action. The last race at Woodbine goes off like 8:30. So you miss like 4 or 5 minutes of the game. We're always going to be off by the time that the first quarter.
I gotta jump in the cocktail lounge one night.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
Fun.
Anytime you're welcome, my friend.
Yeah,
Anytime.
I just always end up not handicapping, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. Yeah, Bobby, it's true. Yeah, I know. For the West Coast, it starts at 3, which is tough. I know.
Barry's got a 4-5-8 exacta box, which that'll be nice if you can get that home.
That's right. Terrence Seiko's going for 2 wins tonight. He was on Sugar Daddy Jack.
So all right,
he's
so
been the big winner tonight. Oh yeah, I forgot that.
And in Alpha's got that try box 4-5-6-8-9. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get some sound here.
Ready to go in.
We got just
That's
2 left
to load.
Ooh, Tim's up to 10th in
Tim's
stable.
up to 10th, Timmy.
I
Out on Saturday.
don't even want to know where I ended up in stable.
No, I'm so dead. I don't even know it exactly.
35th.
I'm probably
last.
last.
On Saturday service.
I could be last.
You're 50th.
Okay, I'm beating a couple of people. I'm beating Hombre. There you go.
The field is set. They're at the post. And they're off. From the inside, that's Old Trafford. Flashing some early speed to the outside. Double time is going to be putting on the early pressure. Settled on the rail. Many roses in between horses. Ride 'em. 3 wide is going to be Gentrified. And 4 wide out on Saturday in 5th. Another gap of length back. Rallying from the outside, Saturday's service. And then it's going to be maybe sometime, and your 2 early trailers are going to be really slow. And it's a boy. 24-3, the opening quarter. Double time. Battling on the lead now with Gentrified. Out on Saturday. Settled in 3 wide. Making a move, Ride 'em in 4th. On the rail, Many Roses is looking for room. Maybe sometime starting to get going. Then Saturday's service, really slow. And her trailer's Old Trafford. And it's a boy. 49-1 the half mile. And Ride 'em is now taken over as the leader. To the outside, maybe sometime. With a lot of late running on the rail, Gentrified. With the lead, Ride 'em. Not giving up, maybe sometime inside the 16th pole. Ride 'em trying to hang on and is going to hang on by a narrow whisker.
Wow.
Second is going to go to maybe
All
Good to everybody with the 4.
Third is gonna
Right,
be
yeah, no.
Gentrified.
Good to everybody with the 4. He was the now pick.
Barry C with the try there.
Yeah, nice job, Jimson. All right.
And in Alpha, also bet the try.
Mayor, like the 4. Yeah.
Yeah, Mayor like
Good
the
job,
4.
buddy.
Mayor had that. And good call talking about fading that too, because
Yeah, no, great call. Yeah. I didn't
And
bet him. I just liked him in the stable duel, but yeah, exactly.
yeah,
He's
no,
not,
and I mean, my
I would
8,
never bet that horse at 9-5. That's ridiculous.
yeah, that was way too short. I mean, I
That's
thought the horse
way
had a
too.
big chance. I'm surprised he ran
Yeah,
that poorly,
8,
but
9-1. You're talking my language, but yeah,
mhm.
8-5 toss.
Yeah, I was disappointed in the 9 and the 10. I really thought that
Yeah.
both of them would
No,
run a little better.
9 did not get out well. That's why
Yeah.
at this level, even Gentrified get out good, but not great. And I think that cost Tim possibly the win. If I think if Gentrified gets out a little bit better, he's right there at the end. But because he didn't get out well, I think he came in third. Because of that.
Yeah,
At this
exactly.
level of 4,000, that's why I'm saying form sometimes just doesn't.
Yeah, the horses are so inconsistent as
Yeah.
far as, one, they're not going to overcome trouble.
Yeah.
The way,
Yeah.
a classier horse might. Yeah. Looks like quite a few folks here. Oh, the 5 actually got the win. I thought the 4.
5. Oh, wow. I thought the 4 did. Wow.
Well, that'll be even better for all of you who had
Wow.
that exacta and try there
Wow.
with the
Okay.
thing with
Barry
the 5
C.
on top.
Nice job.
Yeah, Barry C and in Opfa.
Yeah,
Awesome.
great job, bud. Yeah, Mayor, I thought the 4. I was on your 4-1. I thought the 4-1 myself.
Yeah, we'll have to see the
Dennis
see the
is
replay
hoping
there.
for an inquiry against himself. That's just classic.
Yeah, and I mean this race kind of was another one, like we said, that looked like it might end up being a little bit all over the place. And I mean, if you
this was an all button. This was an all button.
If you had a feel for these last 2 races, well done. Props to you, because
Bobby, always a pleasure, my man.
Yes, thanks for hanging out, Bobby.
Yeah, look, this race could be, look at this, 5, 4, 8, 3, 2. The next race could be 8, 9, 2, 3.
Absolutely.
I mean, at this level, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They beat up on each other.
They beat up each other, exactly.
And it comes down a lot to just circumstances and trip.
Oh yeah, and trip. Oh, exactly. Or like one night they'll be they'll be behind, and then the next night they'll be on the lead and go wire to wire. Like, wait a minute, where did this come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Different strategy. This is gonna pay nice.
Yeah, this will be a nice way to close out the card here. These last 2 races were quite interesting.
Yeah, night, Barry. Way to finish strong, bud. That's awesome.
Yeah. Way to leave on a winning note.
I could finish last now, maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be. I am not good.
I honestly had no feel for this card tonight whatsoever.
Me neither. I almost stopped. Didn't even play it.
Yeah, I almost did not myself. Exactly.
Then I was like, oh,
Tim could finish second.
Good job, yeah, Timmy. We can hope so. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had 5 0/- horses.
My Trust the Profits brother coming in the cocktail kitchen representing.
Love it.
Cocktail Lounge. Timmy representing for us.
All right, $20 winner here in the last. $7.50 to place, $4.90 to show, $4.10 to place, $3.20 to show on Rydom, and $5.60 to show on Gentrified. That exacta is $33.75. The trifecta $188.90, superfecta $1,876.30.
Wow, Inapa had it. Nice job, Inapa.
Yeah, that trial would be nice. And then the late double 3-5 paid $56.90. Dollar pick 3 $146.05, which actually seems a little short.
Yeah.
And that dollar pick 4, if you got 4 of 4, you're looking at $2,576.85. The 20-cent pick 5 was $3,343.80, and we got a carryover of jackpot pick 5, a little over $100,000.
Yeah, and you know what's great is that Tim is going to take that money that he won in Stable Duel tonight, and he's going to triple it at least at Churchill's opening day. He's just going to take it and just plunk it down, and boom! It's all of a sudden it's just going to expand. Exactly.
Dang right. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you
Yeah,
so
so much
much
fun,
for
everybody.
tuning in, hanging out, and we will see you next
Yes.
time, next week, next Tuesday, and before then, Thursday night, Thursday evening. What time is that going to be, Sean?
Yeah, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Cocktail Lounge. Come say hello. So glad to have the lady Jess back with us this week. Did a fabulous
Yeah,
job
happy
as
to be
always, my
back.
friend. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much. Great to chat with you as always.
Always
And
a pleasure, my
until
friend.
next time, farewell, everybody.
See
Bye.
you guys.